You are listening to the Main Event Moto podcast.
Ooh-wee. Joe, are you ready for some 210?
Ooh-wee.
Are you ready for the 210?
210, son.
I'm assuming that's a freeway somewhere with a lot of traffic.
Yeah, the 210.
Wait.
Take the 210 to the 405.
Oh, I hate the 210. I get tricked near Azusa almost every time I'm on that thing, and I end up in like Burbank or something.
SoCal.
I hate the 210. This is going to be a good 210. It's a big mama.
Ooh.
Got a big show, Joe. It's the official preview show of the 2022 Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship.
I'm stoked for this. It's been a long time since we've had all of the Bat Bros.
Did you not catch the three letters I left out?
Oh, sorry. Which?
F, I, and M.
Oh, boy.
I got to learn to say it right now, Joe.
You do.
It's like clockwork. It's copy-paste. It's copy-paste in the brain. FIM World Championship. Those days are gone, and I'm assuming at some point we'll talk about this new World Championship that just popped up over Christmas.
Yep.
And what it might look like, but we'll get into that. Anyways, you said it. Bat Bros, bro. Do we have enough room for all the bats?
All of them.
In this
There's always room.
Okay, well, we got Toolman Dan coming on, of course. Andy Gregg's coming in. My brother is coming in. Hobo Nicholas is coming in.
Hobo's back.
The only hobo I know to own a house and like a vacation house too.
I think it's been a whole season since he's been in.
He had to have got in there.
I don't remember if he did.
I don't know.
Maybe.
He's a little loose. He wants to know if McGrath is ready to go. He says he heard he's flying at the test track. But no, it's going to be good. We're going to talk about the 450 Supercross Championship coming up. We'll talk 250s. I don't know all the guys yet. I know three that are for sure, and then I know one name that should be riding west that I'm now hearing may not, and we need to break that down from a multiple of angles. But it's going to be a good show. Can't wait. Fly Racing, Mika Metals, Motorsport.com, Scott USA, No Toil, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Blenzall, ScreenPrintingDone.com, All American Chevy of Killeen, Olney Creations, DRS Suspension, Race Tech, and Uintah Health. Go to uintahhealth.com and get yourself some bath fizz, Joe. You could take a bubble bath with me.
Oh, yeah.
Smell good, feel good.
Hell yeah.
Work the muscles out. It's going to be a good show. Can't wait. How are you? Good?
So good.
You look good. You are rocking Main Event Moto t-shirt,
Head to
sweatshirt,
toe, son.
and hat. Do we have underwear made yet?
Draped up and dripped out.
Dripped out?
Yeah.
Well, I just heard that term from Pierce Brown. I did the Gas team intro, and someone told me to ask him what the drip is, and apparently he knew and giggled, and a couple people giggled.
Pierce Brown's got his drip on?
He says he's got his drip on. What is that?
Well, he's dripping.
Well, you're dripping.
Means, you look looking fly.
You got skulls all over you.
Yeah.
Main Event Moto.
Skulled out.
Anyways, we're going to have a fun time on this show, but before we get to that part of the show, we need to address the elephant in the room, and it's a big one, but it's a cute one. So, no, but there is some big news and a big change, something that we have not. I mean, honestly, Joe, we've been pretty steady Eddie. I don't think we've made many changes to this show since the beginning. It's kind of all, I mean, we moved to Racer X at one point, but for the most part, for those of you that have been here since day one, it's looked kind of the same. In fact, I just listened to some of the first episodes this week, Joe, and it's there's some similarities and there's some differences that you all have an opportunity to check out here shortly. But big news, big change, and I think it's probably best to rip the Band-Aid off. Do you approve?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the last show in the current format, doing things the way we've done it in the past. I think some of you know that there's different models out there for podcasting and shows and news articles and some of the different entertainment media out there. And for us, this model of being on the Racer X platform, we got to give a huge shout out to them too right off the top. Thank you, Racer X, for everything. And running the model with sponsors is officially coming to an end as of this show. This will be the last one that we do like this. We are moving the show to Patreon, where it's $5 a month, and you will have access to not only this show, but some things that we've been wanting to do, Joe, for a long time. And I'll just come out with it up front. I know that some of you are going to be pretty pissed about this, Joe. Is that safe to say?
Definitely.
Probably some picketing, some rioting maybe out front, because and I get it. I guess my hope is that for those of you out here that love this show and love what we bring, you're going to take the chance and go over there with us and capitalize on some new things that we've been wanting to do for a long time, Joe. And this, again, it's been about a year. I think we've been talking about how to grow this show. Do we want to grow this show? If we do, how are we going to do it? I mean, we got sheets and sheets of papers of ideas, and as of now, we're pretty locked in, and we're ready to make the move, Joe.
Yeah, but it's not just this show. They're getting other shows as well.
And I think ultimately that's what's going to be the key to this whole thing, right? I know we got a lot of listeners that listen every single week. You love what we do. But for Joe and I, we've been in this place for about a year now where we've wanted to do more. And we have a big list of things that we want to do. And the only way to do it is to take a gamble and hope that you guys will come over there with us. I can promise you that we're going to give it our very best. You're going to see new things that you've never seen before, not only in this sport, but some of the ideas we have, I don't think have been done in any sport. I really think you guys are going to like what we end up doing over on Patreon. So I guess, Joe, should we get into the details on what we're going to do?
Yeah, tell them what they get.
Okay, so first off, it's this show, which you guys listen to during the season, during the off season. We're going to do this show just like always. I will tease the fact that Vincent's probably going to come on a little bit more under the new format. He really wants to. Joe, you and I both want him to, and he's going to come on the show a little bit more. So you'll get that like normal. Where we're adding to the show and the things that we've been wanting to do, some of them that we're ready to execute right out of the gate, is a midweek show. A little bit of background for you guys. On Wednesdays is when we have the TV call where Ricky and I and everybody, it ends up being 15, 20 people in this call. We all get in and we talk the next weekend, like what our thoughts are, what the storylines are, some different angles. And for me personally, on Wednesday nights after that call, because I'm kind of in the zone, that's when I usually sit on the couch with my phone, go through my notes, and start kind of putting together some ideas of things that I want to talk about on Saturday night. And then I kind of build on it throughout the week. And it's honestly, it's been super loose and disorganized. It's a cool thing that I do to get ready. But Wednesday's show is going to be a live stream prep show for me, where I'm actually going to sit probably 45 minutes with my notes, and I'm going to go through each and every rider and kind of break apart the different angles of the way we can approach the weekend. And you're going to be able to help me with those notes. It's going to be a live chat included. I'll be able to read the chats. I'll be even able to have some of the listeners come on the show with me through the streaming service that we're using. It'll be a live show that you can catch after. If you can't make it live, you can catch it whenever, the next day.
Live video.
Live video. Yes, live video show. Sorry, live video show. And the whole purpose of the show is to help me prepare my notes for the weekend. And I'm looking at it, if I was a fan, Joe, I'm a big football fan. I love Tony Romo. He's my favorite analyst. If I was able to go and watch him prep his notes on that week's game and really get into some of the angles and some of the stories and some of the options on how to present it, dude, I would be all in. I would love that opportunity, not only because I'm in TV and I like to learn, but I'd be curious to hear his thoughts unfiltered when he's not performing on television, when he's just thinking to himself and going through the list of topics and athletes that I like. So I think one of the best parts is your idea too, is to include the listeners in that conversation so they feel a part of it. That way, when you watch the race Saturday night, and if I drop a certain little nugget on Eli Tomac, for a lot of you, you're going to be like, wow, I was there on Wednesday night. I was part of this prep. We discussed it. There was arguments in the group chat. We kind of broke it down, and then boom, on television, there it is a certain stat or a storyline. I really want to make this an interactive thing where you guys are actually helping me prepare the notes that I will use on Saturday night. And for me, I'm thinking of the month of February when I get to be in the booth, how rad it will be to kind of do it together. And I want it to be a back and forth, an interactive show, and again, live stream video that will be on our Patreon, so people will be able to watch that. And if they don't catch it, they can catch it later that night or the next day or whatever. So that's one show. Friday night, to me, seems like the more fun, the least pressure of the shows, Joe. This year, I'm going to the Supercrosses every Thursday night so I can be there for Friday press day. Press is back this year where the riders get to ride. And in years past, it's been a little weird, hit or miss based on the COVID stuff. This year, press days are back on Fridays, and I want to be at every single one. And I'm going to get all the news and all the little nuggets from the pits and from the stadium on Friday. Then Friday night, you, me, Vincent, Dan, it might be all of us some weeks. It might be just me and you or me and Vincent. Live stream video. You guys can all be a part of this in the group chat. Think of it like live listener questions, like what we do on the show every week with our Scott Prospect listener questions. Imagine that, but live stream video in a group chat with all of us or some of us, whatever the group is that week it happens to be. But imagine just a live stream video listener questions show. Loose, funny, playful, just hang with your boys the night before the race. And we are going to discuss everything for the night before the race, everything I learned that day, maybe some new news that popped up. And maybe we're just hanging out and having fun. I mean, maybe it'll be with a rider. I might have someone with me, depending on where I'm at. But that's going to be Friday's show. Then the fourth show. I know we've talked about in the past, you guys have heard my brother gets a little loose on the Instagram on Saturday nights. He likes to do stories, make fun of the riders, and just call out the crazy things that happen. He's going to do that still on Instagram, but he's going to go live to our Patreon. Again, live stream video to our Patreon 15 minutes before the 250 main and 15 minutes before the 450 main, and do a live show where he's going to hang with you guys, talk with you guys about what you've seen so far, what your thoughts are. He's going to probably argue. He's probably going to yell at a lot of you, depending on what your name is on the Patreon. And he's just going to hang with you guys. You get to go into his living room and preview these main events right before they happen. And again, a live stream video show. And the best part is, Joe, is if you don't catch them live, they don't just go away. They're going to be archived on our Patreon. You'll be able to go back and watch them at any time. And again, so to go from one regular podcast, which you'll get, we're not changing much here, but to add 3 live stream video shows a week, that's what we're going to be able to do now with this move. I want to do more. I want to step this up, make it a higher priority. I feel like you guys are a kick-ass fan base, and I thought, let's find a way to do more, and this was the model that fit, and we're ready to rock, and we're ready to roll, and we're ready to do it.
Yeah.
All right, final info on that before we start the regular show. You're going to go to patreon.com, patreon.com/main event moto. You can go through through the regular internet. You can go through the app store. I would recommend just getting the app. Go to Patreon, get their app. And again, $5 a month, $1 a week, 4 shows a week. Take the trip over with us. Give it a shot. And I'll say right now, if you don't like it in the first month, it costs you $5. And you can cancel and be done with us forever. I kind of have a feeling you guys are really, really going to like what we do. And the first 7 episodes of Main Event Moto are live on our Patreon right now. Joe, you put them up. I listened to them this week. I wish there's a couple things we could cut out. There's a couple things. Raw. I know the Stank Dog Cookie story is episode 4, I think, which I listened to, and I died laughing the whole time, reliving that story.
Yeah, just to be clear, they're the very first 7 episodes we ever did back in 2016.
When we had riders on as interviews,
and we're going to put up more archives. You and I have talked about maybe doing an archive show once a week where you upload an old episode. It's going to be great, and they were comical to listen to.
They were insane.
They're rough.
You were different.
They are rough.
You were drinking at that time a lot, and it was a little rough.
That was a big difference.
But anyways, go to patreon.com/main event moto. $5 a month gets you in. Starting next week, we will have our regular pod prepping Anaheim 1. It's on 4 shows a week, and I hope you guys come over and give it a shot with us. And if you don't like it, you can kick rocks. If you like it, you can bring rocks. That was really, it was okay?
That's fine.
You might cut that out?
Nah, I'll keep it.
Okay. All right. That's the deal. We'll tell you more about it as we get going through this show, but that's the Band-Aid pull for you guys right now. This is the last one in this format. Huge thank you, of course, to Racer X for everything, Fly Racing, Mika Metals, Motosport.com, Scott USA, No Toil, Guts Racing, EMT Racing, Blenzall, ScreenPrintingDone.com, All American Chevy of Killeen, Olmi Creations, DRS Suspension, Race Tech, and Uintah Health. Go to uintahhealth.com for more info. And these are the partners that have been with us. They're still going to be with us. I'll be repping them all individually because I love them all. This isn't the end of our road together, but this is just a change in format, and we'll be doing something a little bit different with these sponsors moving forward. They've been incredible. Thank you guys so much. Joe, let's take a break. Let's come back and hit the preview show for 2022.
Main Event Moto.
All-American Chevrolet in Killeen, Texas is a proud supporter of Main Event Moto and invites all the Motoheads to experience the difference for all of your Chevy sales and service needs. Mention Main Event Moto and get 50% off your next oil change and a front-end alignment at no charge. Remember, whether you're hauling your bikes to the weekend track, trail, or race, or commuting to the job that pays for your moto habit, we have the truck to get you there in style. Visit us online anytime at ChevyKilleen.com. That's All-American Chevrolet of Killeen. Chevy, find new roads.
Look good? Check. Protection? Check.
Fly Racing has had the gear game on lock for years, but the Formula helmet has taken Fly to another level. They didn't just make a high-quality helmet, they redefined the standard for the most important piece of safety equipment on a rider's body.
Use your head and protect your head. Run the Fly Formula helmet.
Then cover the rest of your body in Fly's Evolution and Kinetic gear lines.
Easy decision.
There's a reason I run DRS suspension and Race Tech hard parts with Mika Metals chains, bars, and sprockets on Evans 65. First off, DRS suspension settings work everywhere. I haven't changed a clicker since I put them on. Maybe it's the internals from Race Tech that give it that extra something.
American-made products with a 100% guarantee. You don't see that every day.
Yeah, the DRS Race Tech combo works for me. And what can I say about Mika?
First off, they've been with us since the beginning.
The quality of their bars is top of the line, and Mika is the only chain and sprocket combo I run. Motoheads, get with the program. It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals.
Say it again.
It's DRS suspension, Race Tech, Mika Metals. Is that good, Joe?
Yeah.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Things they used to get away with on movies. Joe, could the movie Team America World Police be released right now?
Never in a million years.
It was on the other day, and I had to rush the kids out of the living room, man. They're not ready for that. The scene when he's big pimping, I promise I'll never
I'll
die.
never die, yeah.
Joe, are we ready to introduce some guests?
Yeah.
Who should we introduce first?
Oh,
The guy with the Fox sweatshirt or the guy with the Fox sweatshirt? Andy Gregg, why are you wearing a Fox sweatshirt and not a Guts or a Main Event Moto sweatshirt? Do you have a Main Event Moto sweatshirt? Did we give you one?
Yeah, no, I have one.
What the?
I don't know. I was just grabbed whatever was on top.
Didn't you know that the guy next to you, Dan, welcome to the show.
Yo.
Didn't you know he was going to be wearing Fox?
No, I didn't. I had no idea.
Great minds think alike.
Oh, gosh. All
I wear what's free.
right, well, that's good.
Hey,
well,
so do we,
hey,
Andy.
Speaking
So do
of
we.
sweatshirts,
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
we got something cool
We
coming.
got something coming, Dan. Just don't premature this thing, okay?
Just keep-
okay.
It's those nuggets. You know, we always talk about
Yeah,
those little
well,
nuggets.
I know, but that's a big nug. Andy, hat. There's your hat, dude.
Yeah, that hat is sick.
Yeah, sold out. Got some more. Do we have more again, or do we sell it again? What are you doing
We're sold out again.
again?
I ordered more. So it was a hot seller. They're bitchin' hats, right, Andy?
Yes, they are. I'll
They are.
probably wear one of these to one of the Supercrosses this year.
Joe will wear his for the next 3 years, and it will always look like that. I don't even know how he does it, but it just stays fresh.
Hey, man, keep it dripping.
All right. Oh yeah, whatever that
Yeah.
means. Dan, Andy, what's up? Preview show, boys. You ready?
I'm ready to rock.
All right, let's talk 250. Who's riding west? Do you have an idea?
I have no idea who's riding west. I watched the preview yesterday during Christmas and thought, maybe they would have some insight, but they just talked 450s.
Yeah, nothing on there. And then the Racer X preview show, did they only do one or two yet?
Just the first one.
The first one. So here's what I know, and then we'll go from there with what I know. Jet Lawrence is racing west. There is no way in this world that they would not have him under the bright lights in Southern California. So Jet Lawrence is racing west. Joe Shimoda, Dan, is confirmed west.
Mm-hmm.
Christian Craig is confirmed west. Those three that's done. I got a weird one for you, though. This is the weird one. This is what I heard, and I need your guys' response on what you think's going on here. Justin Cooper is the defending West Coast champ. I know that sounds weird because he started in Orlando and he raced Daytona, but that was the West title. So he is number 1W. He would race West, right? I mean, you would defend your title. Nichols is going to ride East with the 1E. You'd have Cooper ride West. I've heard now from a couple different people that there's a slight possibility that Justin Cooper is not riding the West. If it was injury related, you guys would understand that, right? Like, he's not ready, something, whatever. I haven't heard anything like that. So why would there even be a question? Why is that even a question that he wouldn't ride West?
Dan? I actually thought about this a little bit on the way in, actually, because I know kind of who's scheduled or not scheduled, but who's going to ride West, who's going to be East potentially. But
all I know is the Craig West, the Nichols East thing. Those are the only, and then the Kitchen East. Those are the only ones I know. But J Mart, Thrasher, and then Jay Cooper, the unknowns. But
so
what,
this
Dan?
is
Like,
what
explain
I
to
think.
me how it's possible.
I think that for Star Yamaha to go and win both titles again this year in the 250 class, I think is very unlikely. And I think that they are looking at both classes.
Wait. Them as a team unlikely or Jay Coop unlikely?
I don't think Justin Cooper has a good likelihood of winning another title in the 250 class, no matter what coast he's on. So I think that they're looking strategically based on who they think is going to ride what coast, and they're going to place Colt Nichols on the best coast that he could have the most potential to win on.
Which would be probably staying away from Jet,
Yes.
Christian, and then for some of you out there that might not agree, Joe Shimoda should be in this conversation.
I agree 100%, but that's just my opinion. Why they would do that? Otherwise, why would you not want to defend your coast?
So Andy, you send Craig on the West because it's automatic, right? It's Christian Craig. If you're going to put him on his best coast, you're going to ride West. He's insane in those baseball stadiums. After that, if you're star, do you just stack the other coast and try to guarantee you get another one? Or I don't understand why Jay Coop wouldn't ride the West, why that's even being discussed. It should be automatic. Unless there's an injury, which maybe there is. Remember last summer we heard that maybe he was hurt and he never said anything. So maybe there's a mystery injury here. I just want that confirmation, and I want an understanding of why he wouldn't ride West.
I think he'll be on the West Coast.
You think it'll end up
I think
there?
he'll be at the gate.
Okay. If that's true, then what are his chances to defend against? Now, remember, he didn't race Jet last year. He didn't race Christian last year. He didn't race Joe Shimoda last year. He raced the other side. Okay? Him and Cole, it's very weird. I understand this seems confusing, but the East went first last year, so Christian and Joe and Jet, all the East guys, they're going to start the series again, but this year it'll be West. If Justin Cooper races against those three, is he the favorite to defend his title?
I don't know. The problem is Jet. I really think that Jet is. I think everybody knows that they're racing for second. I mean, I really think that, and so
I don't think Christian thinks that.
No, I'm sure the riders don't. But you
mean everyone else. So you're thinking everyone else is seeing this, even his own team, and maybe they're going,
So I mean, for me, I would rather get Justin on the West Coast. Just be there, put in solid results.
Rep the one.
Try to get rep the one, so you have it on both coasts, and then you just, hey man, we just need podiums. Let
those boys
Jet,
implode a little bit.
Let them have their issues, and if they don't, we'll just take the second, and then we'll go to the outdoors, and let's try to get it.
So Dan, I'll pose this to you then, because this is my thinking too. If the West is the three, and let's say Jay Coop's in there too, so there's four. To me, you've got Jet and Christian that are like, that's the flash, right? That's the speed. They're going to be the two gnarliest on the Saturday nights. Then you've got Joe Shimoda, who might just 2-3 them to death the whole series, honestly. And again, maybe we should address that. From what I understand, Joe is riding insane right now. He's already consistent. You all know that. He doesn't make mistakes, and now the speed is coming around, I'm hearing it's lights out. So if that's the truth, put him in the conversation for a title, because he's going to go 2-3, 4-3, 3-2-3 almost automatically. And I see Justin Cooper as that same kind of guy. He doesn't win a lot, but he's always up front and on the podium. So if that's the four right there, you're going to have two like real flashy fast guys that can maybe win all of them versus two guys that are way more consistent and are going to approach it that way. You'd have a great four-rider battle. I just see this being tough for Justin Cooper, because those three, other than Colton Nichols, would be the three I wouldn't want to race if I was him. And now you got to go defend this title, your last year in the 250 class, against those three.
See,
I see the nervousness there a little bit.
So that was my take on Shimoda and Justin Cooper. Now, I think that when you and I were talking last week or 2 weeks ago, I think whoever wins this title is going to have to win multiple races, right? So you're going to have to get race wins. But I was under the same impression that Shimoda's probably going to 2-3 him to death, podium to death, and he'll be in the title hunt. When I said that, I actually said that on Instagram, and Matty G, Joe's mechanic, reached out to me. He's like, "You're crazy. Joe is going to win multiple main events this year. Guaranteed he will be there for the title." And judging by some of the videos and stuff that I've seen of him, he's shredding. And he just has that look like Jet had last year, honestly.
He keeps progressing, man. He just keeps getting better. He's like a machine. And Andy, I'll tell you this, and I know this is total agent talk, but Myrtle and Jacob, who represent Jet and Joe, they both told me that we're feeling pretty good about Jet, and we're nervous about Joe. Not nervous, but Joe would be the one that Jet should be the most nervous about. That's what they're saying. They believe they have the 1 and the 2. And they believe Joe is going to make up the difference in speed, but the consistency is going to be there, and he's not going to throw him away, where I don't know if I trust Jet or Christian all the way yet. I feel like they can't help themselves but like 1 or 2 where you're just like, whoa, guys, chill. You know what I mean? So to me, that's where you're going to have to win races, but you can't, I don't think you can throw him away because Joe's going to sit there like within probably 10 to 12 points behind you the whole damn thing. And I'm a firm believer that he's going to end up being pretty frustrating for Jet and Christian.
The one thing I noticed with him last year, like, you know, he finally gets on the podium and you could see at first, he didn't even think he should be there.
Yeah,
the first podium he got, it was like, he was mildly confused, but he's that kind of rider and he has that kind of personality that once he gets confidence in himself, like I know where he's coming from. Like he needs that inner confidence. And then the next week it was like watching a different Joe. And then
like he hit a new step.
Yeah. And so that's what separates him from those other guys. Because those other guys, they're like, they need hype men around him. You know, people hyping him up. Joe doesn't need anybody hyping him up. Yeah. He needs his own internal confidence because really, I mean, I don't think there's going to be very many people here in the States that could hype up Joe, right? Because he's not from here. But like Christian Craig.
And even his personality, he's not someone that you're going to get all hyped. He's probably very quiet to himself. Like you said, it's more internal.
Yeah.
That ticks for him.
So I see a guy like Christian Craig just being more of the kind of guy that, you know, he needs cheerleaders on his shoulders, right? People to hype him up to get him when he has that bad race. Where I don't see Joe, if Joe gets a 7th, he's not going to be down in the dumps. Like he doesn't need somebody to coach him on. He's going to be able to just bounce back and get 2nd. Right. You know, a 3rd.
It's something about these foreigners, man. They're just programmed a little bit different. And I don't know if it's because in other countries, you know, I mean, let's face it, we live in the greatest country in the world, right? Other countries are not like ours. So when they come over here, man, they really want to make the most of their situation, the most of their opportunity. And I think that's like, you see that with Ferrandis, you see that with Jet and Hunter. Now you're seeing it with Joe. And it seems like once they get it figured out and once they get a little taste of confidence, that's all they need. And they progress very quickly.
That's like that once they feel like they're past a certain hurdle, then they're good.
These foreigners took our jobs.
That's what Christian's going to be saying when he's battling with
But I mean, go
Jet
back
and Sushi. What is that? What Jet calls him? Sushi. Yeah. Christian's gonna be like these foreigners, these kids, these foreign kids.
But I mean, think about it. What did Ricky used to always say about Chad Reed? The worst thing that can happen is Chad gets confidence, and that goes back to guys from other countries. They come here with one goal, and that's to win the championship. They don't come here to get in a ride at these mid-level teams
and hit after parties.
They're here to win the championships because they know if they don't, America's going to send them, like the scene is going to send them back to their country.
Yeah, they won't stick around.
Yeah.
Wow. So with that said, though, let's get back to the Justin Cooper thing for a minute. If you're him right now, what are you thinking? Like, you won the 250 title, you're running the one, you're about to point out, you get to defend it 1 year, and then you go 450. With the field the way it is right now, it's not even a guarantee that you can, like, if Nichols goes back to back, it's not even a guarantee he's going to walk into a good 450 rider. The field's so gnarly right now. Like, look at everyone's, I mean, Barsha's locked in, Tomac's locked in, the musical chairs between maybe Roxon, Webb, Ferrandis, I don't think there's going to be much musical chairs. There's not many rides sitting there, even if you go back to back. But if you're Justin Cooper and you don't defend the title, what if you don't? What if you go and Jet beats you and Christian beats you and Joe? What if you get fourth in points? What does that do to your career? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's got more pressure on him than maybe he or anyone even realizes, because this is your last year in the 250. And if you don't go win back to back and maybe win the outdoor title, where's the guarantee of the 450 deal? And I feel like that's a lot of pressure, and I'm nervous for him because he has gotten a little weird when he's gotten pressure in the past. The red plate, you know what I mean? He seems to always do better if he's low-key under the radar. When he's kind of the guy, he's kind of been a little goofy at times. And I feel like the pressure is like way on for him to defend and back it up.
Let's face it. I mean, say he does win the title again, right? I mean, like you said, there's not very many factory 450 rides, period. So I see him, whether or not he wins the title or not, he's going to end up on like and I hate saying this because I don't want to degrade these teams at all, but like a Rocky Mountain KTM or a Moto Concepts, they're a B-level team.
There's a couple open seats.
And depending what happens, Husky would be the weird one, right? Because of the Zach thing, and then you never know with Dean. There's some musical chairs.
Yeah, they only have one spot, and that's Mookie next year.
Yeah, so there is, but then again, would you go Cooper over Nichols? I mean, what if Faulkner has a breakout year this year, gets back on track? I mean, I feel like his ceiling might be a little higher if he was back on track. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not guaranteed. And he's in a weird position. It's not the same, but it's kind of the same as Bogle was in. Bogle won the title and then wasn't able to defend it, and it kind of ruined his value going into the 450 class. And for Justin Cooper, you're kind of in a situation where if you don't go and slap him around and win the outdoor title and really go with momentum, you might be overlooked moving to the 450 class. And then what? Then what happens? Like that's a weird spot to be in. And that's why when I hear these little thoughts of maybe him ditching that West Coast and going east, I'm thinking, is he going somewhere where he thinks he could win a better title? Does he feel better going against Colt than he would against Christian, Joe, and Jet? I might.
See, here's the problem with a guy like Justin Cooper is he has to do something incredibly special, right? Because there's already star kids, Danger Boy, who's the other one? LeBlanc. Romano. These kids are already lined up, especially Danger Boy. I mean, dude, you got factory 450 teams already looking out 3, 4, 5 years at Danger Boy.
And for those of you who think that's crazy, Dan's not wrong. I've talked to some people that are very respectable that said, we're going to position ourselves for him someday, that he's going to be as legit as they come. And I agree with that. I'm in a couple arguments with a couple people at the moment, but I think he's going to be as legit as anybody.
It's just like Jet, same thing. But that's what I'm saying. He's got to do something extremely special. And it's not just on the track also. It's outside of the track. It's interviews. It's things like that. And I'm sorry, Justin Cooper's a great rider, but I think he's missing the total package.
Andy, when you watch Cooper ride, he's pretty business, right? Good start, gets up front. He's always up there, pretty consistent. Last year, Supercross had some goofy moments, but it's like the Dungy style where you're always up there and you kind of make it work and you never really blow it. But he doesn't have that like just beat him mentality where he's going to stick him with 4 or 5 wins. You know what I mean? It's almost like a Dungy light version. And I just don't know if, like Dan said, if that's going to hype anybody up to take a chance on a guy, unless he goes out and again, line him up then. Go wax Jet, Christian, and Joe this year, and then I believe then. But if he doesn't, you know what I mean? I feel like his value is going to be either crazy or not much. And that's a scary place to be in. It's like, I mean, it's really depending on what you do in the first 5, 6 rounds of the series. By then, everyone kind of knows what you are or what you're not.
Well, yeah, that's where the American riders need to take a page out of the foreign handbook. Like, you have to ride as if you don't win,
you're done.
You're done.
Or you're going home.
You're not riding for a paycheck or this or that, or you literally have to ride with that mentality that, and I think, Villapoto was one that rode that way. Like, it was, I see that more out of Villapoto than I do Tomac, I'm here to ride.
Webb has it a little bit. Of all the American riders, Webb has that the most.
Current, the ones that are currently racing. But he always comes out a little slow. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's riders like Ricky. He left it all on the track every night. I mean, we haven't had a solid American rider for a few years that they will just leave it on the racetrack. Webb.
RV was the last one to really just throw
Webb,
it down.
You can watch him if he's in the points championship 5 rounds in. Then he starts getting to that. Mm-hmm. If he's not, he will kind of just be there.
Right.
Webb doesn't come out to A1 and like he doesn't let A1 dictate his season.
Yeah.
In a good way, though.
Yes.
Yeah, it works in the current model, but it's because of who he's going up against, too. That's the one thing. Webb's great. We'll get into the 450s. Webb's great, but he's going against a group of riders that have a hard time getting it together. Webb would have his hands full if he was going against Ricky, James, Chad, RV, or even Dunge. They brought it every single night, no matter what. Cooper is taking advantage of a group of riders that seems to be a little messy.
Is that a future generational thing where we're going to continue to see that? Their mindset is different than the old veterans you just named. Is that a new generational mindset?
Well, I think some of it goes back to what we've talked about over the years. It's gate drops. Like Ricky and those dudes, they had thousands of gate drops on minis. The kids nowadays, they don't get the gate drops like those guys used to. They get 7 or 8 gate drops a year. It's a different mentality.
So based more on the youth than anything than right now. I don't think it's like a current thing. It's more maybe just how they went through the whole thing. where Cooper reminds me, he seems old school to me. He's like an old soul out there, the way he rides and races. And well, anyways, we're steering off course, but that's what I guess my point on Justin Cooper is. I think Dan nailed it. Andy, he needs to be pretty special this year to guarantee, even to semi-guarantee that his 450 career is going to start the right way, which you want it to start the right way. Look how close Shane McElrath was to winning. He was so close 3 or 4 times he almost won the title. And when he went factory 450, he went to Smart Top because he never really made everyone believe that it was going to be automatic on the 450. You kind of wondered because he never could get it over the finish line on the 250. Cooper did once, but if he comes back and doesn't back it up and it looks a little average, it's a hard sell.
I think if Cooper gets second in the points, I think he'll be one of the top guys, that the teams will be looking at. But if he runs 4th in points, then it's going to be a mid-level team.
So does he take number 32 to the east and race Nichols, or does he take the 1 to the west and go up against Christian, who's going to be a killer, Jet's going to be a killer, and Joe, who is now becoming one of them? That's why I'm asking this question, because I've heard this week from 2 people that it's up in the air, and I'm like, how?
What is it?
Like, why?
Is it a star decision or is it a rider decision?
I haven't heard where it's coming from. I just heard it's coming from there.
We know that egos and things, this sport is one of the most ego-driven sports I've ever been involved with in my entire life. And being the team manager, how could you have not be able to put 2 number 1s on?
Let me ask you from a guts perspective. If it's you and you find out that the number 1, say RJ is number 1W and he's going to ride E next year with the 24, what are you saying as a guts sponsor? Would you be a little perturbed at that? Well,
it's kind of back to like if Husky had 2 number 1 riders, if they each had they could ride each coast, I would still be wanting them to have 1 on each side.
You want the ones?
Yeah, you can move Colt to the west and vice versa, whatever. But either way, I would want.
So you'd want the 1.
I feel like if you're going to sell product and you're going to get people to look at your stuff, they're going to come to see the number 1 plate.
Yeah, and not only that, but it ends up in magazines, it ends up on the internet, it ends up in videos. The one matters, I would think.
You know what they should do is they should just, no matter what coast you're on, it should just be if you're a 1E and you're going to ride West Coast, just let the guy run 1E.
Oh, the fans would be so confused if there's 2 1s out there.
Yeah,
you could barely see. Well, yeah, you're right.
Confused.
But let me ask you, Joe, from a branding perspective, if it was main event moto, we had a team, Creed Honda. Would you want the 1 on the bike, or would you do what's best maybe for the rider and maybe let him go somewhere else? Not somewhere else, but let him go to the other side. Do you want the 1?
Yeah.
See, I do too.
It's weird though. MXGP.
And I want Creed Honda to be a thing.
Yeah, we got to make that happen.
I'm sick of all the hate on Creed, by the way, too. I feel like it's time that they get the respect they deserve. Their songs are badass.
Really?
Hell yeah.
My Sacrifice?
Absolutely.
What's the other one?
My Own Prison. The list goes on and on.
The list goes on and on. We could be here all day going over
Talk
this.
about number 1s.
They do get hated on. Aren't they doing like the Super Bowl or something? Or not Super Bowl or something? UFC or something? I thought I heard they're doing something.
It was like an anniversary of their halftime performance or something. Like the 20 year or something like that.
It was so intriguing. I forgot to click the link.
I think they're coming back around, though. Kids are going to start to appreciate them again.
No, they're not. I love them.
Going back to the 1, MXGP guys never run 1 except for this year. I guess Hurlings is going to run 1, but they never run the number 1. Is it? I think it's important, but at the end of the day.
Well, we'll see. Let's just play a little game, round table. If those 4 are there, okay, and then let's go through the rest of the field. So Gas, I just did the team intro for Gas last week. And they're not letting me know. I'm like, come on, bro. It's like, let me know who's riding west, who's riding east. And they're like, I'm like, come on. I'm literally here to do your team presentation. Like, tell me. I won't say nothing. I won't spill it on my podcast preview show that we're doing right now, even though I would have. And they probably know that. But I don't know about Mosman and Brown. I don't know about the Husky guys. Andy, do you have insight on Husky?
No, I really didn't get too involved. There's a lot going on with the Husky organization, more in Europe because they did a bunch of switcheroo stuff in MXGP. Mm-hmm. So we've been thrashing the new seat for the KTM, the new seat for the Huskies. Kind of got us
So you're not in the loop?
No, not right. Not with
Where's your influence? You haven't called down there and demanded Jalek Swoll or Styles or RJ to ride a certain coast? So you have no clue?
No, I mean, I'm assuming RJ will be on the East Coast.
I would think.
Is where I'm assuming.
But I heard he's like ready to go now. Like sometimes it's hard for these teams. Like I think that's the gas problem too. Both are like ready to go. And what do you do when they're all ready? You just, jeez, man.
I think Mosiman rides west.
You think so?
I think so.
See, I think Mosiman would stay away from Jet. I feel like they need to stay away from each other. For us, I think they should be together.
Here's the thing. I don't think this year that staying away from a coast is even a thing because I'm pretty sure Faulkner's going to be east.
From the crash, though, right? Because I heard he was geared up to do west, and then him and McAdoo both crashed on the same day, and I heard they're both moving east now.
Yes, and so...
That would move Hammaker to the west, which actually that's kind of intriguing too. He's low-key really good.
Mm-hmm.
The east might end up being gnarly then.
Well, we said this last year that, that one coast was going to be the better coast, and the opposite coast was actually
one coast is always top-heavy, and then nothing behind it, and then the other coast is stacked to 15th. It happens every year because I think people play a little game, and I think people are ditching Jet, to be honest. I mean, wouldn't you? If you were racing right now and you were legitly a top 3-5 dude and you're ready to go for the win, Andy, I'm probably running from him more than anybody if I had to.
Yeah, I mean, he would. But if you're a 6-7 guy, you're going to pick his coast because...
So you can sit there 5, 6, 7.
Maybe you could run 3rd, 4th because the guys that...
I know.
So if you had some guys bail and go to the other coast.
Just throwing it out there, but say Mosiman ditches him and goes east, say RJ goes east, next thing you know, you're going to have Pierce Brown, Jalek Swoll 4, 5, 6 every week. I mean, so it depends on where you're at. If you're chasing wins and a title, I think you're probably staying away from Jet. If you're chasing top 5s, you probably go wherever he goes because you know everyone else is running. So I guess we'll figure it out at Anaheim. But if we had to right now, just those 4. Let's assume Jay Coop's riding the West because he should. Joe, who wins the 250s this year? Does he... And we'll talk about it next week on the official Anaheim 1 show. We should know more by then. But, Joe, is Jet ready? Is Christian going to finally take this thing? Is Joe ready? I mean, what do you think? I
think Andy was right. Everybody else is just battling for second. Jet's the heavy favorite.
Heavy favorite?
Yeah, and he's the handicapper. Everybody's avoiding him.
Andy, same?
Yep, that's what I got Jet.
And if someone's going to be the one to bring him down, is it Christian who matches him in speed or Joe who's going to just suffocate him all year long?
I think it'll be Joe personally, just because they have that buddy thing going, but Shimoda and Jet are like...
The next generation.
I think they're the future competitive, friendly rivalry.
I agree with that, Dan.
I agree with that 100%.
So Jet and Joe would be the one?
Mm-hmm.
I'll go with you. I think Jet, and then I think, for the same reasons I said, I think Joe's going to be right there, obnoxiously right there with him, and then I think Christian's going to be unreal, but I need to see him put it all the way together and not have 1 or 2 off, and because I don't think the other guy's going to have any off. So I'm with you guys. I think, are we all in unison?
Nope. I'm going to take Christian for second.
Over Joe? Mm-hmm. For what reason?
Just because I'm old school. I liked watching his dad race.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Christian, I just feel like this is it. Like this is finally going to be it. He either has to get it done or...
Yeah, you got to do it now, dude. You got to do it now.
And I'm a huge fan. I follow Christian on everything. I follow his wife, of course, and I love it.
Shout out to the Craigs also. They hooked our boy Aiden up big time.
The kid who won the bike.
Yep.
Christian Craig, he came through and sent some swag over to the kid for Christmas. And it got there by Christmas
Bell
Day.
Monster helmet signed. He was stoked.
Stoked on that. Joe, around the table really quickly. If Justin Cooper is west, where does he end up?
It's weird to say, but I'm going to say 4th.
Behind the other 3?
Yeah. Because there is something to be said for Craig's experience. Like Andy, I mean, I'm not counting him out by any means.
Yeah, you're not saying blowout. You're saying just the other guys. I would put Jake Cooper. I would go Justin Cooper and Christian Craig, one of those 2 for 3, 4. And I think I'm Jet and Joe, 1, 2.
See, it's clear for me, Craig in 3rd. And honestly, I could see somebody else sneaking in there between Cooper and Craig. Cooper just does. I just don't trust him.
See, I'm the opposite. I trust him, but I don't see the ceiling being reached. I feel like he's going to just whole shot, good starts, 2s, 3s, and get a win and probably end up 3rd or 4th.
Yeah.
All right, we're all kind of close on that one.
Like if RJ races West, I put RJ after Christian before Cooper.
That to me, it starts getting into a toss-up. You put Mosman in there, you put McAdoo. To me, that's just a cluster of a lot of the same to me. So I don't know. Am I right on that? To me, RJ, Cameron McAdoo, and who is the third one?
Mosman.
They're all kind of the same guy.
They remind me of like almost the exact same person. Like super fast. I mean, incredible, but kind of always something, right? Like a little slop around the edges, but like legit. I don't know. It'd be a mess in that coast. But anyways, all right, that's 250s. That's all we know. Next week, we will actually break down the 250 class better because I think we're going to have some official lineups going into Anaheim 1. But for the season, that is our 250 thoughts for now.
What about East? You want to talk about East at all?
We'll save that.
Okay.
If I don't know West, then I don't know East.
Well, I have a just a thought on the 250s. What up and coming team or team that hasn't ridden West Coast do you think is going to have a breakout or do the best?
Well, Marchbanks is West.
Because Club Moto,
and he'll be good.
Club MX, they'll be out. I meant Club MX, but yeah, they'll be out. Then you have AJE. Those guys. I don't know what
they have. I don't know who they have.
Mitchell Harrison.
Oh, and Blows,
and I one more.
Derek Kelly.
Yep, and then what about AEO? Powerspoke.
They had some injuries. Masterpool got hurt, and Austin Black got hurt, and Carson Brown's filling in for them.
Yep.
And then sneaky cool team is the Bar X Suzuki team. Mumford and Schwartz are going to be, I think they're going to be sneaky good, and they're going to be up there messing with the guys. I'm not saying top 3s and top 5s. I'm going to say they're going to be up there, though, and they're going to be playing around in that top group a lot. I think Bar X Suzuki's going to have a big year, at least kind of emerging onto the scene a little bit more.
Do you think Club's going to have enough success to continue fielding both coasts after this year?
I think their one-track mind is, I think the facility is helping them do whatever they want. And I could be way wrong on that, but I feel like they're in a good spot to keep growing because the facility is going to take care of the majority of, it's their base. I think they're solid there.
And Muckoff came on.
Saw that, motorsport.com. And I think Marchbanks will be sneaky good too. I think he's going to be up there, that 4 or 5 group, messing with those guys a lot. 3, 4, 5.
My last 250 question, though. Yep. Who's going to finish higher in points? Freeze?
Oh, God.
Or Phil Nicoletti?
Are they both West?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, like in general? Yeah, in general. If they end up being on 2 different...
Freezy.
Yeah, I'm actually so stoked because I want to see him just...
Hey, if you're riding West Coast, 250 guys, you can thank me later. If you're riding the West Coast and Vince is on the West Coast, you need to walk right over to his truck and make a deal. Immediately.
Vince?
Before the series starts. Not after, not halfway through. You need to make a deal because that could end it all for you.
Vince could be Jet's best friend this year.
If I'm Jet right now, I'm going to stay at his house the whole season. I'm going to roommate with the guy to make sure, hey, when that number 18 comes around, keep it straight.
Do you think he still rips good starts?
I think it's a gift, dude. I think he's just a magician, to be honest. Yes.
I was going to say, how many heat races does Freezy win this year?
None.
You don't think he's going to win heat?
No.
See, I think
Dan, you're higher on him than you need to be. Look, he's gonna serve a great role in this thing. He's not gonna win heats and be top 3. Dan said legitimately maybe top 3 in points. It's not possible. There's no way.
I came down off that.
Yeah, we have other issues with you at the moment, but
I think that Freezy could win a heat race. I really do.
Andy,
I don't know if he can win a heat race. I'm a huge fan of his. Like
I am too. It's changed for me. I'm all in. I love it.
He's always like I'm about people off the track because I know once you get your helmet on, things change. Like I'm a racer, I get it. Like I totally get your helmet's on. You're trying to pay your bills. Like he's not on factory contracts. He's not getting the money.
He's got to do what he's got to do.
Yeah, so I get it. Like sometimes do I question the moves he makes? Yes, but at the same time, off the track, he's a cool dude. I really
actually like him too, and I've put behind me all the issues that I had in my past. I like Vince. He's entertainment to me. But if I'm a rider in that 250 West, Joe, I'm walking right over there and I'm making a deal. And the deal is just don't do nothing to me. It's not like go do something to somebody. It's just don't do it to me.
I'm with TMD, man. I think Freeze might come out and surprise us.
250 heat race win? You guys in on one?
Let's do it, Joe.
I'll say yeah.
See, I think he can sneak an east one in. If he rides west, I don't see it. If he rides east on those tight little tracks.
Now you're backing up. I see how you are.
He can sneak one in because, dude, I mean, trust me, I know better than anybody. He's hard to get around, and he is not afraid to go left and right to left, depending on who's behind him. So he gets an East Coast good start, Andy, tight little track like Arlington or something. Maybe. On these big baseball stadiums, there's no possible way.
And I'm sure he's got bonus money up for grab. I mean, I know Honda just any rider, if you just showed up with a Honda, there's bonus money for winning a heat race.
Well, that team is good on bonuses too. They're probably like, hey, Vinny, we're going to dangle the biggest carrot of your life. 50 grand win a heat race. $500,000 if you win one. And win a main, $1 million.
Hey, I'm just stoked that it actually happened because remember we talked about it months ago.
We didn't think it was going to happen.
You said, it ain't happening, and then here we are.
I don't even know how the rules got changed, but I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I just don't know which coast.
It's one of the more intricate but interesting storylines of this season for sure.
The role he will play.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right. That's 250s. Let's take a break. Dan, I know you got to go run. I know you're going to be back here in a little bit. Vincent has arrived. He's in the building. So we're going to get him on. We're going to talk 450 top 10. And then, Dan, don't worry. I'm going to chew your ass at the end of the show for the nonsense you put me through this morning. Absolutely.
This is going to be good.
It's ridiculous. I had to pull my vehicle over and think about things for a while. I was so mad. But we'll do that right after the break. We'll be right back, y'all.
Main event moto.
Joe, when I think of Blenzall, I think of the smell because it's so good. But that's not fair because it's the quality of their products that really stands out. Go to Blenzall.com and take a look at the catalog. 2-stroke, 4-stroke, they got everything that you need for your motorcycle and it's top quality. I used to be in the oil industry. I know the difference between crappy oil and good oil. Blenzall.com has the best. Check them out. That's what the Motoheads run. Walk out in your garage. Take a look at your bike. You know your graphics are roasted and you need a new set. That's why you go to Old Me Creations to freshen up. High quality, good looks. They are the choice of the Motoheads. That's why you need to put some Old Me Creations on your bike. Not everybody's like Toolman Dan and washes their bike more than they actually ride it. So your bike is probably hammered and it needs some Old Me Creations stat. Again, quality, style, they got you covered. That's why the Motoheads run Old Me Creations. Joe, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Screen printing done. We got to do their commercial, right?
Yes, we do.
Let's do a commercial/tease where we tease our new T-shirt coming out in March.
Ooh-wee.
But then also mention how Neil's the man and screenprintingdone.com is who does all of our stuff.
Right.
Isn't that kind of a good idea? Like a commercial/tease right there?
Yeah.
Well, Neil is the man. You go to screenprintingdone.com if you want to get something custom done like we do. And of course, when March hits, you get that Main Event Moto t-shirt done by Neil at screenprintingdone.com.
Yeah.
So can you turn this into the commercial?
I think we can.
What do you got to do it?
I think we just did.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Ooh, wait. Welcome back to the show. Before we let Vincent on, we have his little intro that we got to do. Before we get to that, though, Andy, do you have any Vincent stories? I know you and I have our stories, but do you have any Vincent stories from just a little Vinny when he was just a little guy at the house?
Honestly, not really, because like he was just too little, and we didn't really care about him.
He just kind of was like,
yeah. I mean, if he would have died, we wouldn't even have known.
Oh,
because we weren't even paying attention to him. We were too cool for him.
He
was
a leech. We were trying to pull chicks.
Yeah,
and this chubby little kid trying to hang with us, dude. All right, Joe, hit the intro.
And now, coming from No Maturityville, USA, he hates French people but loves Malcolm Stewart. Put your hands together for Vincent Blair!
And he's here. Vincent.
What up?
We wouldn't even have cared if you would have died, Andy says.
Makes me sad.
We would have never known or cared.
Probably true.
Andy, I remember you getting knocked out at my house, at my house, and then we went to church that night, and I'm pretty sure you were driving like 85 miles an hour down the highway after getting a concussion, and I'm glad we made it, but I remember that day being really scared. Do you remember that day at all?
Yeah, I cleaned a radiator right off the RM250.
You swapped on the back straightaway wide open, and then
into a barbed wire fence.
Right next to the barbed wire fence. And then we went to church that night, and I remember you driving, and you were like knocked out.
You told me, you said, there's going to be some chicks. And I was like, let's go.
Were there chicks at the church?
Yeah, and I had a little Datsun pickup that was diesel. That thing was rad. I wish I had that thing back. I was an ultimate game tester.
Yeah. I told you, though, I warned you. I said, dude, youth group, baby. It's where all the honeys hang out on Wednesday night.
The church girls were always the ones that were willing to push the limits. Like the ones that didn't go, they're just like, nah, I don't know about this. Church girls are like, why? Like Adam and Eve, right? Eve ate the apple. Like the church girls are the same thing. Why are they telling us not to do this? Let's experiment.
I should do that. It's hard.
Inner rebel.
It's hard to argue that point. Vincent, welcome to the show.
What up, Daddy?
What?
I don't know.
Did you call me
I usually
that?
call Joe. I was talking to Joe.
Yeah, that was so weird to me that I just heard that. I don't even know if I'm going to be right from here on out.
Calm down.
You caught the end of the 250 discussion. Just really quickly, who's winning the 250 West?
Who knows? I wasn't paying attention, and I don't know who's in the West.
Jet, Christian, Gregg, Joe Shimoda, Jet,
for sure.
For sure?
For sure.
Okay, Jet for sure. All right. So should we go 450? Or first off, just how are you, Vince? What's up? You good?
Christian Craig's going to ride west
Yeah.
against Lawrence. He's not going to choose east.
No.
The whole team can't,
They can't
ride
all
east.
ride east, dude. Someone's got to
There's
face
like
him.
19 of them.
Yeah, someone's got to face it. They'll send Thrasher over there by
They
himself.
sent Christian to him.
Dude,
there you go.
that's their best shot on the West, bro. You think he wants some? He ain't afraid of the kid.
You don't think?
Dude,
No, he's not afraid of the kid.
No, I think he wants the kid. I think he's ready for it. He's ready to throw down. And then they're all hyped up, and then Joe's just going to,
Because you know what's going to happen. Dylan's telling him, hey, remember what I did to you?
That's
all you have to do.
Do it to Jet.
Jet.
Just get him one good one.
Oh, just try to murder him? Okay.
Yeah. Christian's got that in him. He punted.
Can you imagine?
Poor Alex
Hey,
Martin.
Christian, when you go against Lawrence, just remember, just try to end his life, and then you'll win. If he's not alive, you win. Okay. All right. See ya.
That's what I did to you.
Remember how I don't know how you survive, but anyways, that's my advice. Good luck out there.
Good luck, everybody.
I do it now.
Joe, you know it, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
And then Shimoda's going to come in. Oh, the left turn. Good luck, everybody.
Good to see you, Vincent. Good to see you.
How was your guys' Happy Chrysler?
I was with you. It was fine.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Shots going up what was that all about? Going up the stairs.
It was just
buzzed.
a stupid TikTok video my sister showed me and said I couldn't hop up the stairs.
It was just
and I
buzz
was like, all right, I'll do
nonsense.
it. I mean, I was pretty winded. Not going to lie.
Did it twice, and he was tired.
What about New Year's? You guys have any New Year's
Going to your
resolutions?
house.
You didn't let me finish.
Oh.
What about you, Daddy?
Oh yeah, I'll be kicking it.
resolution? Joe, do you have a New Year's resolution? You got anything?
Nah,
Dan?
I don't do them.
We'll ask Dan later. Vincent?
It's not really a resolution. It's more of like a priority on things.
What are you doing? What do you...
I need to be a 5 handicap before
Hey, isn't it time,
June.
Joe? Isn't it? How long did we give him?
I think it's getting close. We'll have to go back.
It's been
and see.
less than 4 years. And I had a surgery, so you got to give me at least 6 more months, 5.5 years
All right.
to be a scratch golfer.
He's getting there, Andy.
If I get to a 5 handicap, then I can be on the first flight of the men's club championship tournament.
Nobody listening to this show knows what that means.
Yeah, they do.
A couple might. I don't know.
Well, you have to. They branch it in certain handicap levels. So if I get to a 5, I'll be on the main one, and then I actually have a chance to win.
All right.
Because
Waterbury Open. Andy, New Year's resolution for you before we move on?
Nope,
Anything?
don't do them. Never have, never will.
All right, that's simple as that.
Why not?
Joe, should we play the song now or later? When you want to do it now?
Let's play it now.
Okay. And I gotta hype this up a little bit, guys. This has been
We did it.
We did it. I've wanted this for 10 years. I've been begging Vincent, can we please do a cover of Thunder in Your Heart from the movie Rad? Please. And
Stupid.
And Vincent, as Joe, have you ever met anyone so anti-cover song?
No.
He freaks out and he's so anti.
Covers are dumb. They're never better than the original, for one. And then you're basically just copying someone else's creativity.
No.
And
We'll let
then-
the listeners decide. Let them decide on their own. But listen, guys, I've wanted this for 10 years. I blackmailed Vincent into doing it. He did it. He did an incredible job, overachieved what I wanted, and we are done. Thunder in Your Heart from the movie Rad is complete, and we're releasing it right now. Joe, press the button. Let it rip.
'Cause there's thunder in your heart. Every move is like a lightning.
the spirit of fire, the heart of a lion, taking control, a burning desire, your flame never dying. Don't lose the feeling, and don't ever stop believing. There's one more moment of truth, and you're gonna face it. 'Cause it's thunder in your heart. Every move is like a lightning. It's the power you feel when you get your taste of the glory. There's a fire gonna start, and you know they're going under. You can light the dark when they hear your heart on the thunder. When you hear your heart of thunder. Thunder in your heart. Every move is like a lightning. It's the power you feel when you get your taste of the glory. There's a fire gonna start, and you know they're going under. You can light the dark when they hear your heart on the thunder. When you hear your heart of thunder.
Joe, your response first. I don't want to hear Vincent. He's
That's
just going to
hot fire.
whine. He's just going to whine and complain. And
Badass, dude.
I am. It exceeded my expectations, Vincent. Whether you like it or not, I'm super proud of you. Eat shit.
Well,
It might be the second best song you've ever done.
really?
Yeah.
Behind Unmarked Roads?
Yes, sir.
I knew you were going to.
That's the next one we're doing.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
Not redoing it.
Why
Joe, he wants to
not?
redo that. Joe, tell Vincent
Wait
how
a minute.
good he-
Wait, whoa.
First off, hold on,
Go
hold on,
back in time.
Stop.
I'm pretty sure I said I will do this cover if we can redo
No,
Unmarked Roads.
never said
I'm
that.
getting the
Joe,
biggest
don't-
deja
don't-
vu.
Joe,
I think he did.
Pretend, but don't
He
forget-
was right there.
Joe, don't
think
forget
he
who you're
did
loyal
say
to.
that.
Don't forget who
That
you
is
better be smart.
true.
You better be loyal to the right brother.
Back in the day, the band Main Event, later the Main Event, Unmarked Roads was the best song. And I think that song we just heard is the second best song I've heard.
Give Vincent credit.
Why are you
maybe
giving
if
me credit? It's not even my song. It's,
Yes, it
Joe's
is.
like John Farnham is the best song Main Event
Did,
has ever
did
done.
he, Joe, did
See
he
what I'm
not
saying?
put his own...
No, he did, man. That's
You
dope.
put your own thing to it, Vincent, and I
So
think it
many
was
parts that
great.
are cool.
Yeah, you did a great job. You gave it doesn't it sound almost like one of ours, Joe? Like we would do something like that. You
For
made
sure,
it. You made
yeah.
it us, Vincent, and that's what I wanted.
Truthfully, I wanted my vibe for it was, what if John Farnham was in a rock band today?
What he would
What would
do.
he do?
And that's what's cool about covers to me is when bands or whoever artist, when they put their own spin on it. And sometimes it's way cooler and sometimes it's just cool on its own. And I think that's just as cool on its own. And I'm just kidding, actually. Some of the best Main Event songs are, Cry of the Lion and things like that.
You're all about the OG EP is what it is.
Unmarked
That's what he
Roads.
was on stage with. Dude.
I know. I will say vocally, that was one of the more challenging songs I've ever done because it doesn't sit in my pocket, Joe. Like as a singer, where you're in your favorite range, where you just sit on the notes, right? That song for me wasn't like that. I never sat in my comfort zone ever, so it was super challenging to pull that off. But luckily, Vincent did a great job helping me with some of the harmonies. We had Adam Rappel, who did our original EP, our first one, helped with the vocals and the mix and master. And I am 100% satisfied, Vincent. So I got everything I wanted out of this deal.
All right, then
I'm
Unmarked
stoked.
Roads is
I think it's
next.
dope.
And drop G sharp, dude.
Is this going in the remake of the movie?
I wish there was a remake of that movie.
Oh my god! Wait, is there?
There might be.
That just made my
No.
dingy tingle.
Could you imagine? I would love to see Aunt Becky go ass sliding right now, right out of her jail cell.
Jeez.
You'd like right back
Slide
into
right
the
in
pub,
there.
right back into public, right back into the free world. Anyways, I'm stoked. I hope you guys liked it. It was 10 years of pressure and blackmail, and we did it.
I think it's
So
dope.
good job, Vincent.
All right.
All right. Now let's talk 450 Supercross. So here's what I did, Joe. You know what I did, but I'm going to explain it. I had everybody on the show that's here today, you, me, Vincent, Andy, Dan, plus Eric Nye and Jacob Hayes,
Hi, Jacob.
give me their top 10 450 overall for the championship and what they think. And let me tell you right now, Joe, like you, everyone was confused because you were being like, dude, I mean, it was hard from 5 to 10, right? Really hard to like make it work. It didn't. I really felt bad. I felt bad for my 8, 9, 10 because they could be 3, 4, 5 to me. But we all did it. I did an average. We put it all the way together, and now I have the official Main Event Moto top 10 for the 2022 preview show based on all of our picks.
I'm really
the
upset
average.
about it.
You're really pissed about it, and we'll start with the first one because I don't understand how this happened either. But somehow Malcolm Stewart was left outside of the Main Event Moto top 10, and Vincent damn near blew a gasket.
Yeah, dude. I have to go to the hospital now.
What? I'm with you. I don't like where he ended up. I don't think it's right.
I don't understand. Do math, look at history, whatever. Why the hate?
It's not a hate. I told you 3 to 11. And for me, Andy, answer this. 11 was pretty hard. After 11, I felt like I was pretty comfortable, right? Like I didn't have any problem with the rest. To me, it was my final couple spots that were the problem. But past 11, there wasn't much. Vincent's furious, but I mean, it's hard, right? Like,
Where'd you put Mookie at?
I had him at 11th.
Did you?
He's one of my guys.
Did you?
He's one of my riders, yeah.
You did. So why then? Explain
That makes
why.
no sense.
You explain why, and then Vincent explain why he's going to win every round.
I just don't know. I think it'll be his second year on Husky is when he is a threat. His first year, I think there's gonna be a lot of learning curves. I mean, this whole idea of working at Alden's is different. I think it's different for the better. I've always been high on Mookie, always have been, but I think that I just don't see just 4 months changing old habits. Like it's gonna take 1 year at the track, week in, week out. He has to ride outdoors. I mean, come on. It's going to be, I think next year he's going to be 10 times better than he is this year. Next year, he's going to be a guy that people are going, why did we sleep on? Like, why didn't we pick him up?
Vincent's feeling that out of the gate.
Dude, you guys are so retarded.
Okay, I have my...
Oh, my God.
I'll give my opinion after you, Vincent. You go next. So what?
Yes.
Just explain the
All right.
anger, because I get it.
Malcolm Stewart is probably the most talented rider on the track. I would say most talented. Just right out of the gate. His brother is the best motocross rider on the planet, and he came out of the same highway. He was neighbors. Okay? Now listen. Just listen.
What highway are you talking about?
Big James.
The Big James.
The same highway.
Oh my
Vincent.
God.
Okay, listen. Just listen. So, Malcolm is now, the one problem that he had was fitness. And I don't know if you just saw that video, but he is about 15 pounds lighter. And just think about how much he held back knowing that he can't do the full 20 minutes. Now,
So that's your belief.
okay, listen.
Okay, because he
best
is,
talent, and now literally could probably do 40-minute motos.
Okay, so-
and not even break a sweat. I promise you. Not to mention, the Husky is going to be not a weird change for him. They're better bikes just in
You
general.
don't even know. It's a brand new bike. You don't even know. What if he hates
Steel
it?
frame, baby. He's going to have less things that are tiring him out. He's in more shape. Lighter bike, easier bike to ride, all that stuff.
Okay, here's my thought.
And hold on. Let's go back in time. What place did Malcolm get in points last year?
I think 6th.
Okay. Who did he beat on his team in points?
Dylan.
Why would you put
8,
Dylan?
not AP.
Who gives a shit about outdoors? Who even rides out? I didn't even know outdoors is still around.
Just so everybody knows, he turned and looked at me when he was saying that.
Well, because
you guys can't see it. You guys can't see it.
Yeah.
He physically turned and looked at me and is really aggressive.
he's not happy with where you put Dylan, Andy. Anyways,
it just makes no sense, logical sense.
Listen to my
to equate that Malcolm will do worse this year when the only problem that dude has is fitness, and that is probably the best trait now.
Okay,
you guys, he just picked off the low-hanging fruit, and he's going to literally destroy people.
Destroy people. Okay, Joe.
He looks skinnier than James did.
Oh, that's it then. Just if you're skinny, you're dialed for Vincent.
It's just proof.
He's got such a complex, Joe, that anyone that gets skinny is all in. No, here's my thing. Cause and effect, right? If something changes, other things down the line can change. And I'm with you. I think that he's been very conservative, solid the last couple of years. Andy, is that fair to say? He's been a 5, 6, 7 guy. That's why he got 6th in points. He's been a rock for the last couple of years. Very consistent. My issue is now that he's riding at the Baker Factory and he's going to be in better shape, he is now going to go back to being like all in, like ready to go, right? Ready to turn it up, kind of abandon the strategy of just being solid. And when he gets loose like that, it gets loose.
Hold on.
And my biggest thing is I'm just a little nervous that this uptick in expectation will cause an uptick in issues that happen on the track, crashes, mistakes, whatever. And that's why I don't see him getting better. I didn't have him 11th, but that's my issue. I see cause and effect. I think he's going to be a little bit more hyped up,
dude,
which causes trouble sometimes.
How do you, as a racer back in the days when we were racing pro, when you were in tip-top shape and you knew that your last lap
never was.
Okay, I'll just talk to you, Andy. So
what? When was Andy ever in tip-top shape?
I don't know.
30 minutes plus 2.
Never. I had a good time.
Yeah, Andy wasn't ready either.
He was at church pimping.
Yeah, he was knocked out in the barbed wire fence.
Okay, listen.
Don't ask us about being in tip-top shape.
We've been in shape enough to where we knew when we were on the gate that our last lap could be just as much, if not more intense than the first. Something happens on those other laps. You can push so much harder. I'm telling you right now, if Mookie gets the whole shot, I don't see many people passing him. Now, I promise. I'll bet you $1,000. I'll bet you one of my Bored Ape NFTs, which is worth about 6 Ethereum.
Oh, man, I don't even know what you're talking about. But, Joe, am I making sense?
Yeah.
If there's an uptick in expectations and you start believing like it's go time, that means you're taking more risks and you're going to have more issues, which he has had in the past when he's wicked it up. So that's my only concern, is that stable, consistent rock that he has been might not be that guy if all of a sudden the expectation is to be in the box and be going for wins. That's when crashes happen, and he's been that way in the past. So that's, to me, I'm worried that the uptick might cause its own issues.
Everyone's been that way.
A lot of changes, so everything affects everything else.
Yes.
And I think he's found his sweet spot, and that's where he's probably going to stay.
No way.
That 5, 6, 7 spot. And to me, that would be the mentality of him just being solid. If he's all of a sudden like Vincent and it's like go time, you start risking it.
Hey, and I'll admit it, I'm one of the ones who had him 11th.
Oh no, I'll tell you what. So the difference,
this is pathetic.
What the difference is, though, in the previous years, why he had those weird things, and like when he got hurt at Phoenix, blew himself to pieces in the whoops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
all
his
those
chain
years
popped off and popped back on.
Wasn't that something?
Those were all years where he was a 1 year. Like he had to break himself or win it to get another ride because he had a 1 year deal. This is a 2 year deal. That's why I don't see him really pushing it with the intensity the first year out.
So your theory is a slow approach, be solid, he's going to be okay, work his way through the outdoors, and then next year they're in trouble if he goes the whole year with no issue.
I personally believe every rider going in the top 10 has no mental thought of I should just chill out this year.
I'm not saying chill out, but I think
chances.
I think
there's
that he
no
doesn't
way
have,
that he's going to go to Alden Baker's house every day and be like, I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to go through hell so I cannot do my very best.
Which falls into what I'm worried about, Vincent, which is a little bit too much.
You can't predict that, and everyone's gone through that shit.
Okay,
I've been around Alden when he's in the rig talking to the guys. Like he's not like, so his program. Yes, you hate your life, you hate everything about it. he breeds champions. But the way he speaks to them, I wish, like, I am the boss. But if I had a boss, I would want my boss to speak to me the way he does. He actually will speak in a manner where I can see what he's going to be saying to Malcolm. Is that, hey, Malcolm, dude, there's 18 races. Like, don't worry about tonight. You are better than this. Like, he knows how to talk to the guys in a way.
Keep them steady.
Yeah, to where, because the main focus here is to not get hurt, right?
What does James say about
because what's the point if he gets hurt?
I agree. James was on Pulp last week, and he said, halfway through the season, I don't know word for word, but he said he's going to be in the title conversation halfway through this thing.
See?
Okay, Vincent.
Brothers hate brothers. So that's a lot to say. To hear a brother say such good things about a brother.
I gave you props on this show.
Can you imagine Jeff and Michael Essie fighting and shit? They'd be probably plotting the worst crimes against each other.
That's different.
They take it to a whole level.
Different. Can we move on, or Vincent, or do you want to just freak out? Or I mean, I feel bad too. But the problem is the top 10.
Who was number one? Tell everybody what
we're going 11. Right. We're going backwards.
We're going backwards.
All right. So he didn't make the top 10, which is insane. But
that is
bullshit. It was all of us. And guess what? You have him third in the championship, Vincent. So even with your score not in there, he's way weighted down in 11th, which makes no sense. Anyways,
who else didn't make the top 10?
Wilson, Brayton, Savachi, McElrath,
Bogle,
yeah. All right, so you ready for 10th?
Yep.
And this one, let's just save this entire discussion for when Dan's on the mic, because he's going to have an absolute aneurysm. No, AC is 10th. And for those that love him like Dan does, and they're all about the flash, and they're all about that speed, I get it, but it's the same thing with Malcolm a little bit. I'm a little nervous to put together an entire season with him, mainly because he never has. It's always something. In fact, he got hurt or got banged up a week or two ago, and he's the only rider of the top group that I've heard has had issues in the offseason. And I as much as I want him to overcome that stuff, I have to see it before I give him a high rating. So for me, I had him pretty buried pretty far back, but he's 10th, Andy. Are you?
I think a little better than 10th, but I don't think he's top 3. I mean, just like you said, he's had enough. There's been enough races and enough history to see that he's got some demons. Like, do I deny his speed? Heck no.
No.
Do I think that he could have been or should have been one of the top tier elite riders of our sport? Yeah. But there's been other guys through the history. I mean, Trey Kennard comes to my mind. Like, I always felt like that dude should have had 6 or 7 championships, but he had 5 or 6 broken femurs instead.
Right.
I mean, it was like stuff just always happened.
I'm not going to say that this is AC's fault completely, but we could all agree that he's probably one of the biggest failures of future phenoms that came in the sport. Not because of him all the way, because his first year he hurt his shoulder and he probably was going to be a phenom.
He was on his way to being a complete freakazoid special.
More than all of them.
And he had injury. And the next thing you know, all of a sudden he was 6'1", and he was like, whoa, what happened?
And then he got hurt.
And then he still is getting hurt. So for me, on a personal level, I hate putting him here, but I just don't know if I trust 17 rounds, and I don't know if he'll get through them all. And if you're not there, you don't get points. So that's, for me, why I didn't have him in my top 5. And
what did I put him at?
You had him 9th.
Okay.
So, and I
had him 6th.
I had him 11th. Oh, I just don't. What? I mean, I need to see him finish the whole season. That's it. It has nothing to do with his skill or capability. It's just I need to see the whole season, and that's been tough.
I gave him 6 because I feel like now he's not trying to race against Tomac like in the same tent. I feel like he should be able to take a few deep breaths now and go, you know what? In this tent, it's me. Like, this is my show now, and so. That
scares me too, though, because I feel like he needs to not level up. He needs to level down to get through a season. He needs to go get 6th, 7th, and 8th every week and put together a 4-month series before he does anything better than that. If I'm working with him or Nick, they should be literally just containing the speed and say, dude, I need you to do all 17 rounds inside the top 10. I don't care where it is. Just go get top 10.
You think in the tent he's the man and Anderson's not?
I don't think Anderson's the man.
Wow.
And I'm a Jason
champion?
dude. Like,
hombre?
Yeah, I like him.
A champion versus a guy who hasn't finished a season?
Yeah, Andrew.
Hey,
Hombre, serious. I saw him at media days, dude.
He's all corporate now. He's wearing a team shirt. I saw it.
Dude.
Team shirt.
He was. All right, let's move on because we'll let Dan just blow a fuse when he's back on the mic because he's got AC winning every round for the next 4 years. Let's go to ninth. Ninth on the Main Event Moto official power ranking is Marvin Musquet Vincent.
He even rides?
Yes, he's racing
He
this
still
year.
rides dirt bikes?
Yes, he's racing this year.
What did I put him at?
He was your 11th.
Exactly.
He was anyone that didn't make the top 10, I put them at an 11. That's what I did just to make it, because you would have put him 30th just to be an idiot. So
no way.
So is he a legit 11 for you?
Well, in Supercross, you can't get 30th.
So ninth, though. And guys, for me, he's 30-something years old, and he's good, but there's just too many. There's too many that...
How old is he?
32.
Oh, my God. Just go.
He signed a Supercross-only deal, Vince. Maybe his last season, maybe not. But, Andy, I got him...
I have him at 5th.
You have him 5th?
You have Musquin at 5th and Mookie at 11th. Are you on drugs? You're on drugs.
Hey, man. I take what Ian says to heart. He said
what
right
did
now.
Ian say?
He said that Malcolm. You got me stuck, bro.
Sorry.
He said that Marvin is riding probably right at the top is what he's ever seen him ride, like the best. Like he just won Paris,
that was like 10
bro.
years ago.
He won Paris. He beat Cedric Subaros.
Who the hell's that?
Hey, Cedric is a guts guy, dude.
I know. I like Cedric.
He's
but
got to be
still.
solid.
Marvin, if you're going to be top 5 in points, you better be beating Ced over in Paris, Andy.
Didn't Dean Wilson win Paris once?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, Andy, I made the same point on the last show. I said, Marv just won Paris, dude. He's crushing it. And I think DB said Marv could win that race with his eyes closed or blindfolded
on a 65. I think if he rode a 65, he could win Paris.
No, I think Marv though is a little. He's back to that. What did Dan say earlier? Foreigner mentality that. Like they have so much pride, especially the French. They have so much pride.
God, I hate the French,
dude. No, I'm not saying I like them.
I'm serious.
I love
dude.
how Vincent calls them the French.
Yeah.
Like
Dude.
all of them.
Just back in history and everything.
I still
dude.
like
What has the
French
French
kiss.
ever done, dude?
I like them.
They were late in the Revolutionary War. We almost lost that shit.
All right. Keep it pushing. Keep it pushing.
Yeah.
Keep it pushing.
But anyway,
Late, Joe. They were late.
Yeah.
We've helped them so much,
That's
dude. And then they
so
come here and
stupid.
talk shit.
That's-
Can't even learn English.
Vincent.
How
Oh my
how
God.
many years has I guess never mind. Musquid knows how to speak English pretty good now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
You want to
does.
shut up now?
Andy, to your point.
But yeah, so I just think that the last couple years, the way it's been going, I think he personally feels like, hey, I can't go out like this. So I think he has a little chip on his shoulder, and he's going to do it.
I think he's going to do a lot like last year. It's going to be some good ones and then some bad ones, and then probably
He's going to pull his lay knee out and all today.
And let me be perfectly clear. I'm cool with the French, okay? Because I hang with the French on Saturday nights, and they're cool. Vincent.
Hey, listen,
Whether you
I
like
am
them or
French.
not, Marvin
I am
is
French.
way cool. Yeah, by the way, we are part French.
Yeah,
we have
dude.
a grandparent.
We have direct
grandpa is-
bloodline to the Touché family, which was like the French king's
We do?
special service. Yeah.
Then what's your problem with us?
I don't know. Ask
I'm from
them.
the 80s, man. I still love the French kiss.
You're old school. I haven't done that in years.
I like the French tickle.
I just go straight to the
Jeez.
God, this is. I have to
That's
be
how
related
that's
to
how
him.
I wrote that solo so good, dude. I went straight in there, did a quick warm
Joe,
up,
I
dude.
think
I'm
I
all,
feel that. I came out of the same highway with this.
Oh, man.
we were neighbors.
Oh God. So Marvin's ninth, and I think that's. I think that's right. I bet you if we looked at all of ours, other than Andy, we're all probably in that range. I think everybody's close. I have him 7th, actually. But
I didn't even know he was in the list.
all right, 8th,
All right, here we go.
Aaron Plessinger, and this one's brutal because he got
Stupid.
5th last year. But there's just guys in front of him that I think are.
That he beat.
It's a new year, and it's.
Oh my God, let me guess. Oh, this guy did really good on outdoors.
No.
That matters.
Outdoors, Vincent, it does.
It doesn't matter, dude.
Yes, it does.
Oh, yeah? How many Supercross champs didn't race outdoor the year before?
Actually, you're right. Last year's Supercross 1 and 2, Webb and Roxon didn't race outdoors the year before that. Webb pulled out early, and Kenny never rode him.
outdoors is a different sport. Dude.
I know, but look, I got Plessinger 8th Actually, I have him 9th.
Oh my God.
I have him 9th too.
Vincent, you have him 2nd?
Yes.
Joe,
What?
2nd. Explain.
I thought he had Mookie 2nd.
No, he's Mookie 3rd.
Oh.
Okay, I'll have to admit, I chose AP. That's my biggest wild card deal, but only because of the things that I know that no one else knows, for one, about him. And two,
what the hell do you
his
know
program,
that no one else knows?
Because he's my friend.
Oh, yeah, you guys game together. I forgot.
Is
he still playing games? Is Alden let him play games?
Probably not. I haven't seen him on in a while.
You haven't? See?
Yeah,
Took the
exactly.
Took the fun
That's
right out of the
why
program,
I know.
Joe. Took his Call of Duty away from him.
Dude. Listen, he's on a better program. He reminds me a little bit like Mookie too. If you get him going, the momentum and it's more of a mental thing. You got to understand that they're now on that robotic program where the physical part is all done. They have no thoughts of whether they're in shape enough or they've trained enough or all that stuff. Plus, next thing, he's Webb's teammate. Good team, good program, championship program. He's moving up from where he was before, okay?
I agree.
How can you say he's doing... I understand saying 2nd is a big one, and I might think... I too think that's a little crazy. I was drinking a little bit during this list. But AP, I love him, and I think that if I'm right on a couple of thoughts, then I won't look retarded
Andy,
for what I'm saying.
It's also 2021. I don't think you're supposed to be dropping that word as much, right, Joe?
Yeah, actually,
What word?
Haley Deegan, she almost got
trouble.
kicked out of NASCAR for saying
She said-
retard.
Yeah, you can't say retard anymore, Vincent.
Well, I'm retarded, so it's fine.
Does that mean it's okay then, Joe? If you,
I think so because the rappers say it, and then means
That's
it's okay
true.
if they say it.
all right, then maybe Vincent can pass. But
It's okay if they say a lot
I just
of
felt like
things.
that word's like I
That's
haven't
what I
heard.
meant.
I haven't heard it thrown around a lot in a while. I felt like we were past that. That's just
Yeah, I
what thought.
mean, retard.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
mentally retarded, or like a special ed person.
okay.
You know what I mean?
Regardless,
it's just a term.
Okay, I
It's
know.
a term.
Words hurt, Vincent.
Yeah, words are violence.
Shut up,
People
Joe.
should watch South Park more.
Dude, you would think that the generations that grew up with South Park,
Would
we
be
are
so
just a bunch of
sensitive.
pussies.
Yeah, because they had a whole episode, but it wasn't retard. They were using the
All
word
right.
and they were trying to get it changed in the dictionary.
I remember that
It
one.
was amazing because they weren't
I feel
using
like-
it in a gay way.
I feel like
they were using it
I feel
as
like
a word.
that word's not allowed anymore either.
Dude, do you remember the movie Team America?
Yeah, I do. It's a great movie. I'm just saying.
Okay, back to AP.
Just saying. There's people probably think I'm being a
All
little
right,
biggity. I'm
AP.
just saying. There's certain words that just we grew out of.
AP has
Thought.
a lot of character, a lot of crazy things about him that make him who he is, and you just fine-tuned him and you put him on a better program.
Okay,
He is not going to do worse.
I got it.
I don't understand how you guys are putting
Because other
guys who are
guys do
upgrading
better.
are going to do worse than guys who are downgrading.
Chase Sexton got like 14th in points last year or something like that. You think he's not going to move up?
He was the one that I was okay. So
Okay, hold on.
I'm not going to lie.
You're skipping. Vincent.
There's
Let's
a
just-
few that are like even, but I
A
used
lot are
my
even.
love for some
me,
others.
For me, Joe, 3 through 11 is like throwing darts to me. It was all 0.1. I have a feeling more than the next guy. It's
There's
not
a
like
few like that for me, but not that many.
Why don't you just speed round and get to get to 5?
I know we're wasting too much time. Barsha is next at 7. You guys have a problem with that? I have him at 3. I actually have him at 3. I think he's going to take a leap in the championship. I think he's going to be up there top 5 every week, and he's fighting for the title.
I had him
Barsha's.
8th.
I had him 5th.
What did I have him at?
Vincent had Barsha 8th.
Really?
Yeah.
We were
Joe
the
had
same,
him
bro.
5th.
Yeah, I guess.
I had him
don't know.
3rd. Okay, so
You get to that point where you do your ones, and then you're like, oh yeah, him, and then he's
exactly.
next,
That's how
and
this
him.
whole thing went. So anyway, if there's any riders out there feeling sensitive over this, just know like it's just hard. It's your guys' fault. Number 6, Jason Anderson, and there was a bunch of us that landed on 6. 1, 2, 3, 4 of us landed on Anderson 6th.
He looks better than he did last year.
I think Andy,
I had him at 10th.
Andy has him in 10th. Why?
It's a personal
Andy?
thing with
if
Andy.
if someone's so far off the rest, explain. That's all I got to say. Why 10th?
Ah, man, I just don't know. Like, I just feel like he's kind of,
He'll ride that bike better than anybody.
nah, man, I don't know. I just feel like his personality anymore, he's back to that non-foreigner personality that like, hey, they're willing to just pay me to ride this thing and
Everything's
cool, like,
turned into foreigner mentality.
like he doesn't.
So
he's not going to lose
French.
anything because even if he loses a ride, he's going to sell so much merch, Team Fried, that it doesn't even matter. Like,
so you think winning isn't the goal, but just repping the brand, and this is just part of it? That's what
mentally he's not there.
I think he's super dope. Like, he is so cool, you know, to hang around with and do stuff with. But at the same time, like, he's been there long enough to where he doesn't, like, he can go, hey, I got a championship. He can still look AC in the eye and say, what's that? Oh, I won a championship. How many of you won? You know what I mean?
So you think he got the one, so he's in the clear, and now it's just do the best you can within reason.
You know what would have been a cooler list is who's your favorite rider to party with? Top 10.
Oh, we can do that. We can do that at the end.
Who you'd party with Hombre more than anyone?
Yeah.
I feel like him, Dino, and probably like
whoever else. Doesn't matter.
Dude,
as long as they're
Austin's
there.
pretty fun too.
Who? I'd say the Lawrence brothers.
Austin who?
Forkner.
To party with?
Oh.
Yeah, but he probably has a.
Dude, what?
I was in Vegas one year at the Monster Party.
I would have guessed.
He probably has a curfew.
He had the wristband that I had, and I said, "Are you old enough to drive yet, bro?" And he just shrugged his shoulders, and then we just got it on.
Really? I would have guessed not much partying out of old Forky.
He probably has a curfew.
Yeah, I'm shocked to hear that, Andy. And once we stop recording, I need to hear more. All right, moving up the list. This is all right. Top 5, Joe. This is how it happened with all of us. 7 of us, all with our top 10. Somehow 4 and 5 tied. The Honda boys, Sexton and Roxon. So while we're on that conversation, Joe, let's just try to debate which one's going to do better this year since they're tied. You had Sexton 4th, and you had Roxon 7th.
Yeah.
So this is the claps for you.
Yep.
See, I have Kenny 6th.
Who do I have again?
I want to preface this and say I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
Here's how I'm going to preface this. I think Kenny either wins the title or is not in the top 5.
Well, you don't think he's even going to finish the season?
No.
Secretly in your heart, I know that about
the whole
you.
year, 22. I have just a goofy one of my gut feelings that Kenny retires after Supercross. It's just a thought. Could be way wrong,
so
but-
he is.
No, zero. I've heard nothing. I swear to you, I've heard nothing.
I hate it when you say it in that tone because it seems like seems like you know something.
I swear to you on everything.
Whatever he goes like, just a thought. You know, I don't know.
Nope.
I don't know anything. Just
I don't
a thought.
know anything.
By the way, thanks to one of the listeners out there who sent me a video of me in March of 2019, Andy, predicting that Tomac ends his career on Yamaha. I just want to throw that out there. I did say it. I don't remember saying it, but I did say that, so I want all the credit for it. The Kenny one, Joe, I have no info at all, other than I just think that if he wins the title, which he could, I think it's a mentality, it's a switch for him. Turn the switch on, change your mentality, you could win the title. Or if he's outside the top 5, there'll be a reason here, a reason there, and then he'll be done. So I think he either wins or he's out of the top 5. I don't really see him in the middle of the group.
He doesn't have the same fire, and that means he's not going to do.
And I'm afraid that the next wave is going to, there's too much fire coming that I don't, you know what I mean?
We're going to bump him out.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, that's why I said for him it's a mentality shift. Either take the damn thing and go win it, or come back like you did last year, and a new group's going to pass you up. That's what I think.
I mean,
It's one
he
or the
looked
other.
fantastic. How many of the rounds at the beginning of the season? 5, 6
I mean,
rounds?
mostly all, other than a couple. He's right there, but he's just got to be meaner. That's it. And if he's not meaner, then the meaner guys that are coming are going to be mean to you, like Cooper Webb was. Sexton's going to be mean. Dylan's going to be mean. Eli's going to be mean. There's a lot of guys that are ready to be mean up there. And if you're not, then you're going to get swallowed up. That's my thought.
I could be wrong, but I was using the history as knowledge for Sexton. But the reason why I chose Sexton down so much, because I think he could easily be on a podium, is if he can just put it together. I mean, his skill's there, his talent's there, his fitness is probably there. Everything's there. It's just put all the pieces together.
My worry with him,
he did some crazy shit,
and that's my worry with him is that he's almost too gnarly in his own head. That,
but maybe
he's
because
not,
he wasn't there yet.
Maybe.
You know?
I don't know. I mean, to me, Sexton is kind of like my dark horse. Like he could be the one to take the big leap and then be slapping these dudes around. You guys know I was on that a year ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'm just a little worried that he can't do them all like that because I think he's at that stage, Andy, where he thinks he has to win every single time he's on the track no matter what, and I don't know if he's ready to accept a 4th or a 5th on certain nights, which you have to do when you're a sophomore in the 450 class. You can't win every race. And I don't feel like he has a shut-off switch. And that's my only fear with Sexton.
Points, though.
Huh?
We're talking points.
I know, but 17 rounds. It means you got to be good in all 17. I'm a little nervous that he's going to throw one or two away from just crazy speed that he won't be willing to shut off. You know,
I'm
what I mean?
going with the science. I think that you're with history. I'm with science.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Science can be wrong. Tell me how many times.
Don't bait him, Andy.
I follow the science.
How many times has science been wrong, but history never wrong?
Don't bait him, Andy.
The science has been struggling for a while.
Oh, stop.
Forever, dude. People used to think that that you could take your blood out to be healed and shit.
I'm just saying lately.
Andy.
So I actually put Sexton 7th, and I put Roczen 3rd.
Okay, so you're on the other side, and what's your reason?
Science.
Science. That's why I'm going to be wrong.
Explain yourself, Lord Farquaad.
I just really think that
Lord Fauci.
I still think that Roczen comes out hot, gets enough points early in the season to
let it slip late.
Yeah, to let it slip late, and then he's going to end up 3rd, and then Sexton's going to come on, but I think it's going to be a little too late. So, I think he'll actually be better at the end of the year, but I think he'll have some sophomore jitters at the beginning of the year, make some, a few mistakes, get a 12th, 11th, something like that, to where he's playing catch up all year. And at the end, he looks at it and goes, man, if I would have just, like you said, taken that 4th, A1, hey, I should have just taken that 4th, but I fell down, got 11th. If I would have taken that 4th, that would have been 2nd in the points.
So Kenny will be more consistent. Chase will be flashy, but it'll be too late because he's going to do silly stuff.
Yep, that's me.
That's actually a pretty solid
Joe,
statement.
you were the same as me.
Because if we use history, he got, what did he get in points? What did Roczen get last year?
Second.
Exactly.
That's
it's
why
not far to say that he's going to do great.
I'm a firm believer that Kenny could win the title if he just made a decision to approach things differently. Remember how last year he was like, I'm just trying to be one with myself and kind of this peaceful thing. You can't win a 450 Supercross that way. Title. You can't win it by sneaking through nice.
And you can't say that someone's afraid of you.
You got to be a dirty dog for the most of it. And I'm just, I was watching a video the other day of him on a Suzuki. I watched him slam Tomac and then check out and leave him in a Supercross. And I'm like, where'd that guy go? And I'm wondering if it's just because of the injuries that he's had. Maybe he's protective of his body and he doesn't like putting himself too far out there. And I get that too. But you ain't going to win a title in this class with this field unless you can be mean. I said, in fact, Joe, my Blair's breakdown last year at the very last race at Salt Lake City, I said those exact words. Until he decides to be a dog, he's not going to win the title because you can't survive 4 months without having that attitude. And he doesn't, as of late, doesn't have that. And I'm afraid that if he doesn't flip that switch, Sexton, Ferrandis, this next group is going to come and swallow him up.
Ferrandis.
Are we ready to get to number 3?
We.
Third, no thanks to Vincent's 10, is Dylan Ferrandis. He's ranked 3rd in our power ranking, Joe. I had him 5th. I think he's going to be great. I think it'll be a lot of like Sexton, though. Probably some good stuff and some silly stuff here and there.
How good did he do last year in a Supercross?
7th, I think, when it was all said and done, but
now he's on a podium.
I mean, yeah, he just won the outdoor title, Vince.
Oh, my God, dude.
Yeah. He's a 2-time 250 champ, and he's got the mentality. That Webb mentality that we all admire, Dylan has that too. Chase has it. Eli has it. Barsha has it. But Dylan has that, and that's why I think that's going to propel him into the lead group more than not.
Ferrandis last year in points.
AP and Mookie did.
Exactly.
His rookie year. He's a sophomore
Ferrandis hasn't changed a bit. And the other
what does
two
that mean?
Have upgraded.
His only issue for me is he's not a good starter. That's it.
And that's why he ain't going to do good. You can do good on outdoors. You can get a last place start and win damn near when you're a Moto GP rider your whole life, and then you expect him to just win Supercross.
To be fair,
dude,
Andy,
no way.
Him going through the field on outdoor is a little more obtainable outdoors than indoor.
He grew up MXGP, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with you on that, Vincent, because, I mean, everybody loves Hurlings, and we saw him do that to us. He fell in the first turn and still beat all of our guys. So
Andy's got Ferrandis second. Andy, make the case.
I put him second.
What?
But here, my thing is even on the 250s, it wasn't like his very first season out. He just crushed it. I mean,
took him a couple.
It took him a couple, and I think this year on the 450, he's gonna, and he has Christian as a training partner. I mean, they're homies now. So, like, he's got it figured out.
They're homies now.
I seen him in a picture on the top of a jump, sitting there. They're homies. I guarantee it. They celebrated.
Andy, me and Vincent got a
Christmas.
little argument on the way here because I said Dylan's a 2-time 250 champ, and Vincent said, yeah, he beat AC and Faulkner, the 2 biggest choke artists ever.
Yeah, that's true. But I don't know. I just feel like back to the thing. Like he's in another country.
Won.
He's in another country. He doesn't get to just go, oh, well, this Supercross thing didn't pan out for me. I'm just going to live life in Florida now like the rest of us can do. He's going back to his country.
He's committed to his craft, bro. He's going to be better.
He has nothing over here other than this. So
then leave.
So he's going to break.
He's winning.
I'm not a super fan. I promise you that. If somebody
you sound like you're super hard on him, dude.
If somebody put sand in his gas tank, it wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Oh God,
I'm just saying.
That hurt mine.
I don't want that to happen to anybody.
I'm just saying.
I don't wish harm on the guy. Just get out of here.
I'm just saying that I watch the sport. I know what I feel. I feel that this year he's going to be the guy that's like, oh wow, why did he get 7th last year or whatever it was in the points, and why is this year is he winning races? Because he has nothing better to do, like
than to get better.
How about learn English? Step 1, go to school.
Oh man!
I mean, half of your job is being interviewed.
I think he's a good interviewer.
You guys were quiet because you know it's damn true.
I think he's a good interviewer. You know what the truth is, Joe? As his English has gotten better, Joe, his interviews have gotten longer like Marv's. He's starting to stretch them. I noticed last year in the outdoors, all of a sudden he was going a layer or 2 deeper in his thoughts.
How much do you want to bet?
He must be getting more comfortable.
I bet you he'll never once in an interview say, I got a good start. Because he never gets good starts. He gets bad starts.
So, Vincent, you had Dylan 10th and Marvin 11th.
I did? I didn't know. I didn't even put Marvin in 11th.
I put him there for you.
Because you said he got 30th, which you can't do in Supercross.
Joe,
20th.
Joe, your thoughts?
I didn't say that.
Dylan's your guy, too. He's not your guy, but he's kind of your guy. You had him...
Third,
so you're a believer. Tell Vincent he's wrong, Joe. Tell him he's wrong.
I am a Dylon homer. I think he could get second. Webby's my boy, but I think Dylon's right there. You used the dog analogy a second ago, and Caden Roxon has to be a dog in order to do it. I think that could be true. However, there's 2 wolves on the track.
Oh, yes. I love the analogies, dude.
Joe, you give me
Hungry
a chill.
like a wolf.
Dylon is a wolf, and Cooper Webb is a wolf.
Oh, my God. I just got to chill. And what? And who would win in a fight, a wolf or a dog, Joe?
Ow! It's a full moon.
Oh my God! It's a full moon. That might be the show title. And the other thing you said, but
Right.
you have to use.
Yeah.
Back to the science. We know that Dylan's not afraid to put it in there.
Yeah,
That's the truth.
he's not afraid to put it in there.
He's not afraid to murder.
He,
He ain't going to be in the championship because he's going to get arrested.
All right, so Dylan
Attempted
third.
murder.
Dylan third. Second, this was a pretty much clear cut, except for Andy. Actually, Andy and Vincent are the only 2 who did not put this guy second. Eli Tomac, and you guys both have him 4th.
Oh.
So he's fallen off because he got 3rd last year. You think he's fallen off one more spot, Andy? He's going to 4?
Yep.
Why?
He's back to the kind of like the Jason Anderson thing. Like he has Cortez, Colorado. Like he can just
he's the mayor.
He can just write the ticket, right? He can just get it and go, hey, you know what? I'm going to be a brand ambassador now for Yamaha or Monster or whoever. I'm going to get those paychecks. I don't have to go back to France. I don't have to go back to the homeland.
There's no pressure. He's dialed.
Like, you know, I know, I get it. Like all racers, like me too. Like I retired this year from racing sprint cars full time. And my thing was I'm not going out without winning a race. Like I was going to kill somebody to do it. And I know that Tomac has got that same mentality. Like he's going to win a race. I'm not saying he's not going to win a race, but is he really going to get up there and battle the wolf? Like, I mean, there's 2 of them now. Like you said, there are 2 of them on the track. Do you really think?
Dude.
Do you really think?
You know, I guess he got
Tomac-
Webb and Dylan 1-2, so he's all in.
Do you
on
really
that, Joe.
think
That's
Tomac's
so
going to get
dumb.
up there and he's going to be like, nah, go ahead.
So Andy, for you, it's between the wolves. It's Webb and Ferrandis, 1 and 2.
Yep, 100%.
Joe, why would you have Eli in between them, between the wolves?
when I said that, I kind of wish I could take it back and put Dylon second, but I just have a feeling about Tomac coming out hungry. He's being doubted a lot in media and Supercross media. Everybody's kind of doubting him right now. or excited to see what he's going to do on a new team and a new bike. And so one of those things. I think he's going to come out swinging because he has something new to prove. And I see Andy's point about the safety net. I think that's kind of the common thread. A lot of the guys, if they have a safety net, they don't try as hard. And
which is one of my reasons why I'm worried for Kenny, because I think he rides with a safety net a little bit, mentality-wise.
Right. So I think
I don't think he puts himself out there.
This year there's a chip on Eli's shoulder.
See, I think there is too, because I think you wouldn't do what you did and go to Yamaha unless you wanted to prove a point. And from what I understand, I don't think his salary is as big as it was at Cowie. So I don't think he's just rolling. I mean, I think he's rolling, let's be honest. But
I think he's an excuse maker, and that will always make it to where he'll never, ever be as good as he really is.
Because he's an excuse maker?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's why one of the reasons why he went to Yamaha, apparently, is to have a little bit more oversight over the motorcycle.
Dude, narcissistic people like that, they always figure out a reason to justify.
So personal.
Just harsh to throw that out there. I feel like that's
I'm not saying that he is a narcissist. Everyone has a little bit of narcissism in them. I'm just saying that some people tend to justify their problems with something else. You know, my oldest son does that more than all my other ones. He literally he put his socks on and he said his socks are bugging him. And I was like, well, do it again. Try it again. No, it's the socks. They're bad.
That sounds like my
have
kid.
You put those socks on before? Yeah. Were they bugging you then? No. Then how are they the socks' fault? Who put on the sock? He's gonna be like one of those.
So
he's gonna be one of those kids
problem?
that blames guns, not people. I can't stand those people.
Jeez.
Those people are dumb.
Goodness.
Hey, you know what? I hate to say it, but
There's a lot to unpack.
Keep preaching,
You know
because
what I'm saying?
I'm right there with
There's
you
a
on
lot
him.
to unpack
With Tomac?
and all that, Joe.
I know we went really far on this, but you get the vibe?
I'm right there. Keep preaching.
My lever was up 2 millimeters. That's why I lost. You know what I mean? Instead
I
of
think
just
that's
being
how
like,
Kenny is.
Because look at Barsha. He lost it.
Everyone has that in them a little bit.
I've always thought that
Kinda
Kenny
ego-y.
and Eli both have a side to them where it's hard to take ownership of the faults.
But also,
you
think
said
of
it way worse than I would have said it, Vincent. But I do think that there's a little bit of finger pointing, and it never really is back at you with those two.
He needs to have a T-shirt on press. Just come out that said, "Guns don't kill people. I kill people."
And then are you all in?
Then I'm all in.
He's probably all in too.
But no,
He's
I agree 100% with
shooting
you.
Something right now out in the property.
Because Dungy, right, at the Vegas, the U.S. Open or whatever it was, when he had his shifter was broke and he was like gear shifting in the air. You think Tomac really? No, he's driving it back to the rig. Last year, Barsha loses a gear shifter, still runs the whole race.
Yeah.
Because I was at Texas one year and something happened to Tomac. His front brake line got cut or something, and
Is Tomac an only child?
and he kept just doing weird things, and I was like, why?
Jeez.
Okay,
You're not a psychologist.
I'm sorry.
When did you all of a sudden get a degree in psychology?
Because I don't know. Is he the oldest?
Oh, man.
Because oldest always blame things.
Vincent's going to go to Eli and be like, so did your parents tell you Santa was fake too young? Is that what it was? Did you lose hope in Santa too early? That's what this is all of it, guys. It was Santa.
But
it was all
what
Santa.
Andy's saying, a lot of riders. If you we can do a top 10 list of the most excuse making riders too, and he'd be number one.
And I think Rock's going to be second. He does make a lot of excuses. I remember when he rode for RCH and we were part of the team, and one of my employees is like, man, I can't cheer for Roxon because every time he comes in, even when he wins, he's always like, we got to get the bike better or this, or he's always complaining about something.
I've heard that.
But I felt like he was complaining like as if he knew that we could even be better. Like, so what, we won, but we could still improve. So I kind of took it a little better, where I feel like with Eli, yeah, he does. It's like always something.
But it's when something bad happens.
Yes.
You know what I mean? If you win, you'll be like, hey, I felt really good, but actually during this moto, I kind of noticed blah, 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 blah. Let's try this next week. Give it, that's quality, upgrading. Not like, oh, I lost tonight because I had a sniffle, I had a tickle in my arm or whatever. Who knows?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think he ever said in his life, I've ever heard him just say, you know what?
I sucked tonight.
Yep, I sucked tonight.
Yeah.
Webb does.
Yeah.
Webb
And
admits
that's
it
what-
on the podium when he gets second. He calls himself out.
So does Dylan.
Yep.
So does Dylan.
Yeah, Webb probably spins on the spin bike with no music. Just dead silent, dude. Have to grind without any motivation, dude. Tomac's listening to like NSYNC and shit, trying to get all motivated.
I personally don't see that.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever trained
Listen
as hard
to
as you
NSYNC?
can with no music? It is so hard. Talk about mental grind, dude. Try and do an intense 30 minutes with no music.
I guarantee you're right. Webb, I can see it right now.
He's probably just thinking about all those riders. He's just doing laps in his head and where he's going to just T-bone
Webb's probably just sitting there trying to find a way to convince himself to have a chip on his shoulder for another new
he's
reason.
creating chips. He's
He's
like
the
that
biggest
dude on
chip creator, dude.
He's
That's
like
what
that
Michael Jordan had to do.
He's like that dude on Ace Ventura, man, with all the pictures of Joe Montana in there.
Ray Finkel?
Ray
Finkel, dude. He's got all those riders in there, dude.
Finkel
Laces out.
Laces out, Coop. Anyways, so then let's go to the guy who everyone on the list picked to win the title except for one, Eric Nye, who had him in third. Everyone else picked Cooper Webb to win the title. I mean,
we all picked him because he's the champ. And
Who
he
did Nye
so
pick?
much
Who did Nye pick for first? Just curious.
Dylan.
Oh my God! Stupid! Idiot!
God, he's so mad about it.
That is the dumb win championship.
2-time 250 champ, current outdoor champ, Vincent, shredded this summer. I know you don't.
Oh my!
I know you forgot.
Dude.
Between two wolves.
Yeah, he's a wolf.
He's not
dude.
a wolf. He's a puppy.
Tried to kill Christian.
He's a French bulldog. All fat and shit.
He's the furthest thing. He's like the skinniest dude on the track. Is there anything we want to say on Webb? I mean, he's leaving Alden. I think what he'll give up from Alden, he'll gain in other areas from Michael Byrne. I think he's going to be actually better. I think Cooper's going to actually, this will be the first, remember how every year it's like, oh, he sucked in practice. Oh, he sucked in his heat. Oh, he wins the, I think this year we'll hear less of that than ever. And we'll hear more like, oh, damn, like Coop's second in times, fourth in times, third in times. I think he's going to be faster this year, which means he's going to be even better, and I don't see him losing anything from leaving Alden. I don't see it.
That's the only thing we're wondering. Is it going to change things?
I would say it'd be fair to say he might not be as disciplined, but to be fair, I think enough time has passed. I could probably say this. I hope I'm not in trouble, but I don't think he was doing the whole program last year anyway. Let's just say I may or may not know that. I don't think he was doing it all.
So you don't know, and you're implying that's the same thing, Joe. He just did
That's how I don't. That's how I don't.
Did it
that's
again.
how I don't fully reveal.
So you don't know, but does that mean you know? Just say it.
Yeah, I think there was corners cut last year a little bit, and I think he realized that he could win by cutting corners.
He's like, hey,
and now
I won the championship. You didn't.
Now he's going to go and probably be better in the areas where I think he felt like he was missing.
And what's
which
that?
is on the bike, skill stuff.
Skill stuff.
Yeah, that's why he was working with Michael Byrne. Michael Byrne, just what did he do to Blake Baggett? Baggett couldn't even go through the whoops, and the next thing you know, he was the best rider in the whoops in Supercross. I think he went to Michael Byrne specifically to get better on the bike, grow his skill set and his speed, and he's going to give up a little of the discipline that he already did last year a little bit on the fly while he was winning the title. All right?
Interesting. I only chose him because he dominated, and I don't see why you wouldn't choose him again, even though I think this year it's not going to be as easy.
I don't think it, well, last year, they're never easy, but.
No. You know what I mean.
Last year, okay, put it this way. Last year, he almost clinched around early.
Yeah,
I mean, he missed it by a couple points. Is this year going to be easier or harder? Joe, start with you. Is it closer?
Do you guys think last year was easy for him?
No, because
I seem to remember it being a battle.
At the end,
if Kenny didn't just wither
I
in
meant
Atlanta,
it by 1v1 type shit. I mean, it was Kenny and
Joe,
Webb.
this is where he had it. He had it one-on-one against someone that he knew he could go one-on-one with.
And break.
I don't know if Coop feels as strongly about going one-on-one against Eli. And I bet you right now, Cooper Webb is more concerned about Dylan Ferrandis and Chase Sexton than he is about Kenny.
100%.
Because I think he believes that if you want to go one-on-one,
mentally,
I got Kenny.
Race 1v1.
Which could also backfire, though, because, again, if Kenny just makes the decision, because he's been that guy before, then I think he's the best. I think he's the best if his mentality changes. But I think Webb is more concerned with Sexton and Ferrandis, which is why he's going somewhere where he's going to get better and faster, because I think he knows he needs to. Andy, your thoughts on Webb?
So his first championship, who did he go head-to-head with? Wasn't it Tomac?
No, he kind of...
I thought it was more...
He kind of got a lead and kind of kept the lead. He kind of had it in control.
But that was second place because he was playing those games with him, like pulling up next to him when it's qualifying.
Oh, Eli a little bit, but Eli was 25 points down though. The second year is when he was going to have to go one-on-one with Eli, and then he had the big crash at Arlington. But he was about to go one-on-one with Eli that year, and it never happened.
Yeah, but I think that the reason why I chose Cooper is I just feel like this time he has a better chance at backing his championship up
than the last.
I think that he's just, I don't know. I feel like he's in a better place, but I also feel like this is also it too. I think he wins this championship, and then the next year he's not. I think it's Chase.
He cruises it in a little bit.
Yeah, like I think this is going to be.
They're all running from Jet too, just so you know. And that's not me saying that. They all know. I've been told. They know what's coming, and they know that there's a window. So, Vince, go ahead.
I don't think that Webb's worried about Ferrandis, not because of any. Okay, hold on. Not for any of those reasons that I've already said. Because he doesn't get good starts, I don't think he's worried about him. I would say he's for sure worried about Sexton because you don't know. Because he can be trouble for him, for sure.
What did he win the points by last year?
Roxon, he's not worried about Roxon. He already broke him. Tomac, he's not worried about Tomac.
It was 388 to 353.
But what I meant to you, Joe, that it's easier
points.
is because it was just a one-on-one, him versus Roxon. I think that if it's a year where all these other riders, I feel like there's a lot more riders that are equally as good.
That's better for him, maybe, though.
It could be, but at the same time, if he has a good, comfortable, let's say he's guaranteed second place, and I'm just going against Roxon in points, I just feel like it was a done deal in his mind already.
He even said that. He was racing Kenny last year.
Exactly. So imagine.
He literally was on the gate, and it was just Kenny. That's all he was thinking about because it was the only one mathematically
I can see like if he was racing one-on-one against Ferrandis, but I don't feel like he mentally thinks he's going to be dealing with him that much just because Ferrandis is most likely not going to be getting good starts because of science.
Okay.
Math.
Last run through, Joe.
Quick
35 points he won by last year. You have him winning again. Is it more or less? And how much less? Because I'll say less. I'm gonna say it's gonna be tighter. It's gonna be tougher. He will have to earn it at the final round, which he showed last year. He has no problem doing if he needs to. So I say it's gonna be tighter. How about you?
More.
So he wins bigger.
Yeah.
More. It's like the dude on Star Wars. More.
I mean, honestly, guys, think about it from Joe's thoughts here. If he's just faster and better and his bike's better, then why couldn't it be more? Maybe he is the one legit superstar right now, and he just goes and waxes them.
I think it's less.
I think it's less, but Joe's been right before. Vincent, more or less?
Less.
All right. And Eric Nye has Ferrandis.
You know what? Last year was a weird year, too. Let's just remember that.
It was weird. This is going to be way more normal. Loud, Saturday nights only, a lot more travel, less resident. It's going to be a different vibe. And the baseball stadiums are back.
I think a lot more talented riders have more time on their belt on some of them, and other ones have moved up on their program, which is going to make
it all better,
way tighter. So I don't think Webb's going to be able to just single out, have a one-dimensional strategy,
yeah. I'm with
which
you on
is 1v1ing someone he knows he already can beat.
All right.
You know?
Last question before we take commercial break. Joe, pick one guy that's going to break out and be in the elite convo. I guess Dylan's probably your guy, right? If you were going to pick a dark horse who's never won before, who's going to be in it late, Dylan, your guy?
Yeah.
Chase is my guy. I think Chase makes the big leap. Andy, Dylan, yours, and then Vincent, Malcolm, or AP, and pick one. Who's going to take the leap this year?
Malcolm, for sure.
All right. Malcolm, Dylan.
You guys have no idea.
Dylan.
I cannot wait to be on this show with everyone in here again. You guys are going to be getting on your knees.
Honestly, neither can I, man. I think it would be incredible if Malcolm or AP broke out.
Let's make a bet,
and
Daniel.
proved us all wrong.
We never do the bets. We never know what they are. No one pays. No one loses money. Let's just not waste time with bets.
Let's do real money this time. I got lots of it.
Let me take some of that.
Yeah,
son.
all right.
That crypto life.
Hey,
dude.
we're still got our Sexton Malcolm bet. Who's going to win their main event first, right, Joe?
Oh, that's actually I mean, it could go either way.
Chase gets it at Anaheim. I'll say it now. Chase wins round one.
How much would I owe you? Like $400 or something?
It was
like
a
that?
lot. It was a couple grand, I thought, Joe, right?
Couple grand?
At least.
Stupid.
$4 grand?
Yeah.
You were drunk. You said
I'm
it.
going back on that show. I'm going to do the math. I
No,
think it was
that
like
show's
$20.
gone. I don't know what happened.
It
It's
was
gone.
$20 per
$4,000.
round. So
Okay.
17.
$340.
Yeah, I said $300 or $400.
right.
I was perfect.
Andy, thanks for coming on the preview show. Really quickly, what races are you going to?
Let's see, A1 and Oakland for sure. But it for me, to be honest, I want to go to a lot this year, but it kind of depends on how.
You want to know the rules.
Yes, the rules, because but actually I'm going to try to hit St. Louis because I want to take my little dude and do the KTM Junior 50 Challenge
at St. Louis.
St.
The
Louis.
best track ever every year, dude. That's
we
awesome.
have friends that live there, and their little boy could race with my dude. So like they're buddies, even though they live so far away. So I think that'd be cool if they could race together,
Nice.
and do that. But so yeah, I got that one's on my calendar. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be at a few. A1 for sure because I got to pick up my credentials. Oakland, we're doing a press box, getting the Guts girls up in the box, and it's gonna be a good one. I promise.
I love it. Which one is that? Oakland?
What happened?
Yeah, what happened there? What do you guys have to get?
I said I would get the Guts girls up in the box.
Andy, pervert.
I realized that as I was saying it, what was happening. It wasn't intended that way originally.
What's the timing of this? Look at his face when he turns back. He's almost gonna laugh.
He's like, what an idiot!
All right, let's take a break. Andy, thanks for coming in.
Was that
Let's
champion?
get let's get Toolman Dan back on, and let's collectively emotionally beat the tar out of him, Joe. He's got some stupidity going on in his brain today.
Main event moto.
If you're a true Motohead, then motosport.com is your only choice when it comes to OEM or aftermarket parts for your bike. And when it comes to servicing your bike or giving it the punch you need to perform, it's EMT Racing. With motosport.com, you can get everything you need for your bike with great pricing and ridiculous speed on shipping. And with EMT, it's simple. Take your bike to the experts.
2020 is the year EMT takes over the performance world. If you don't know, now you know.
Your Bat Bros choose motosport.com and EMT Racing, and you should too. I love when NorCal companies take the world by storm. Guts Racing seat covers and no-toil filters are made right here at home, but their products travel the country and world on some of the baddest dudes' bikes in pro racing.
Who runs Guts?
Too many factory teams to list, Joe.
Who runs No Toil?
Well, it's the only filter Chad Reed will run. Guts and No Toil make only the best. So visit gutsracing.com and notoil.com and step up your game, Motoheads. Joe, you ever heard the saying, happy wife, happy life?
Oh yeah.
My wife is stoked because I got her some CBD from Uintah Health. That's uintahhealth.com. Now check it out. 100% made in the USA. The hemp is grown on the family farm. There's no pesticides. It's THC free. Everything is 25% off on the website. Third-party lab tested. These guys crush it, and they are now part of Main Event Moto. So go to uintahhealth.com. That's UINTAH health.com and get some CBD. I'm a believer. I tested it. I tried it. I believe. Motoheads, give it a shot. uintahhealth.com.
Main Event Moto Podcast.
Toolman Dan is back.
Yo.
And he is, I don't know what you are, dude.
I mean, I had kind of had to tune everything out, honestly, after our conversation today.
So, Joe, Dan hits me with his top 10 today. He was like the last one to turn in his numbers. And he came right out with AC, winning the title. And it's one of those things where I feel so bad arguing because Adam is so rad and he's such a nice dude and I would love to see it. I think we all would. But Dan, I think you owe it to yourself to start being more realistic. That's all.
Yeah, dude.
No, I mean, here's the thing. I'm eventually going to be right once. And when I am.
On him or on something else? Because you.
No, on AC.
Running out of time.
Yeah, I mean, again,
okay, he's got a few things against him right now. He's got a little bit of an injury. So we hear. Might be a little bit frustrated with some things, but Dude, it's AC. He was the fastest qualifier like 6 times last year. He had an incredible year until he got hurt. He's got speed. He just has to connect the dots. And he's one of the only guys that is on a familiar motorcycle. There's a lot of changes that happen in the off season, and he's got his arm fixed. So, that's a plus for him. I don't see where 10th place. I mean, dude, come on. That is absolutely, you talk about me being unrealistic, put him in first place, and then you put him in 10th.
What did he get last year?
Because he had an injury.
What did he get the year before? That's my only thing, though, Dan. That's my only thing. If it wasn't for that, if he's coming off of like a 6th place last year overall, then I'm talking different. I'm just saying I need to see a full season put together before I can actually put him in the lead group of guys who a lot of them make it They make it every year. They make it to a lot of them, and they're as good as him and as fast as him. Again, all these guys, Joe, is it fair to say all these guys have mostly every piece of the puzzle, right? It's just who can put them all together and who can glue them.
Okay, but
he's got like no glue.
Let's go back to this. Has there ever been a top guy that right out of the gate had an incredible career, no injuries, nothing like that?
Dungey.
No, Dungey got hurt.
He won his rookie year. He won the title.
Yeah, but then didn't he get hurt after that?
I know what you're saying. Webb had a rough couple years.
Webb had a rough year.
Yeah, a lot of these guys
had a rough first year.
Ricky had a lot of bad years.
Here's the thing, though. Here's what I will say, and let's. I could bring you guys up to speed on some things that I've heard. I did the media days for Feld. I went down there for 2 days, sat with Bondo in the room, and talked to all these. Not all of them. I missed the Honda guys, which was a bummer. But I talked to all these guys. Got to hear how their offseason was going, their thoughts, and everything. And then I did the Gas team intro, so I got more info there. I've been pretty connected now for about a month. And the problem that I am seeing with AC, Dan, is that everyone else is like, it's building and everyone's chomping at the bit ready to go. And he's the one good guy that's had an issue. And he just had it. And I don't know it's just like last year. Remember last year he was off the bike for a long time and then he couldn't make it to the whole main. It's just always something with him. And if it wasn't for this little crash he had like a week or two ago, I might be in the conversation with him like I am with Sexton, where I think it's close. It's close to popping. But he just had another one, and it was like, a shoulder or something. And for me, he's just so banged up, little bang-ups in so many ways that I have a hard time believing that one good washout or a crash in the whoops, and it's not going to be 3 or 4 rounds.
So if he wasn't injured right now, would you have changed it?
I would have probably had him more in the 5, 6, 7 range and not the 10. The 10, to me, is purely because I'm worried he won't make the whole season, and he just had one like a week ago. And for you to come out with him as a title, I had to threaten you.
I have to agree with Daniel.
I had to threaten you, Dan.
Okay. Then we can meet in the middle. We can meet in the middle somewhere.
No, he's in 10th.
No,
there's no way.
10th.
There's just no way.
Joe.
No, there is a way. If he is hurt, then for sure top 10s at best. There's too many of them.
There's too many good guys to
if
sneak.
He's hurt. If he's not hurt,
that's the problem.
Sure
It's so gnarly now that you can't sneak these things by. And if he's got some ailments and he's coming off of an offseason that looked like it was going well, but now it isn't, there's just got to be a time when he decides that I'm just going to go get 7s and 8s for a while just so I could build a base and get some stability going. My biggest worry is he's going to be off the bike. He's going to come out. He's going to go swinging for it again. And then boom, he's going to be out again. You know what I mean? He needs to do what Malcolm did for the last couple of years and just go be a rock for a while and build like a new, as Vincent said, a new highway. He needs a new highway that is not going to put him on the ground as much. And it's very similar to what Sexton did this summer. Sexton did a bunch of 4, 5, 6s in the middle and then one Washougal because he finally built a base of like 7 or 8 good motos in a row. AC needs that very, very, very badly. Like 6th through 10th for 17 rounds would be a win for him because he gets to finish a season and then have something to build off of.
The problem is I think he's got too much speed to just back it down like that. And that's how he is used to riding.
And an unwillingness
what do you think,
to
Daddy?
not send.
Well, we've said before that he needs to calm down and take it easy a little bit. I forget the exact term you used, but it was basically like downgrade.
Yeah, pull it back.
Pull it back.
Just,
I think
decompress. I don't know what the word I
you
said.
guys correct me if I'm wrong, but the strength issue, handling the 450 seems to be a little bit of a problem.
Not because he doesn't have the strength, but because of the injuries, right? Because one shoulder here,
Just say he's
collarbone
little.
here.
Maybe he doesn't have strength.
He's big. He's massive.
He's
what are you
one of
talking
the
about?
taller
He's one of the bigger dudes out there.
Yeah, but
he's just
how much
banged
can he
up.
bench?
I mean, with his shoulders and stuff, probably not much.
exactly.
Yeah,
he probably needs to.
Is that what you're saying,
muscle.
Joe? Is that
He seems a little on the scrawny side. I don't mean that in a
He's
disrespectful
sickly.
way.
He's sickly.
He's a sickly child.
He's not sick.
No, he's not sickly, but he just seems a little on the scrawnier side.
And he's got the injuries.
Can you imagine how awesome it'd be if it's like, hey, your problem is you don't eat enough? Hell yeah!
God, I
Sign
wish.
me up,
I
dude.
wish, man.
I think-
Daniel, hey, you need to step it up this year. I'm thinking you need to eat a little more.
God, that'd be so awesome.
I think it's really just going to depend on how serious and severe this shoulder injury is. I mean, the big,
He told me he's good to go. I'm good to go.
So then I think we need to assume he's good to go, even though he's probably always going to tell you he's good to go. But
Yeah, I love
the
AC.
arm thing, the ulnar
Sad.
nerve in his elbow from last year was a thing.
I
And
know.
that was something that he complained about for a long time and was trying to ride through it. Where Joe's point of view is, yeah, he's a little bit weak. When you can't feel your hands, that's tough.
Yeah.
So if that issue is fixed and this little collar and this little shoulder thing is nothing major, which it probably is not, I seriously think that he could be a title threat.
If he does all 17 rounds, I would throw a dart at 6'7" to me, if he did them all. But here, there's one glaring factor over all this. He's in a contract year. So if you're in a contract year, are you going to go cruise around 6, 7, 8, or are you going to go for the dub? And that's why I feel like he's going to go for the dub, and he goes for the dub when he's not ready to go for the dub. There's something, you know? It's either the ulna or this or that. It's always something, but he still goes for it. And when you're going that hard with an ailment or something off, you end up on the ground.
I thought he's good to go through next year.
I think this is last year. I think this is the last year of his deal this year. His deal's up this year. Ferrandis' deal is up this year. Kenny's deal is up this year. Cooper Webb's deal is up this year.
Kenny ain't going to be here next year. Webb might not be here next year. Hopefully Ferrandis isn't here next year.
I could see, honestly, since I just got one of these right, Joe, I'm going to double, triple down here.
Yes.
Keep an eye on Cowie going after Ferrandis in the offseason. I think they're going to make a run. And I think Yamaha, I think he's a little underpaid at Yamaha, and they just spent money on Tomac. Watch Dylan be sought after pretty hard, and watch Cowie go after Dylan. That's my guess. AC, I don't know where that ends up with him, but I could also see Cooper Webb going back to Star Yamaha after the season's up, too.
No way.
I thought Webby hates the Yamaha.
Nah, he hated the factory Yamaha. He loves the Star guys.
I'll double, triple down. If Webb wins the championship, he's retiring.
No way. That's why he left Alden, is to not retire.
You think?
Yeah.
I think he's retiring.
I'm just throwing it out there. Those are little fun ones. Keep an eye on.
I think Cowie, that would be sick for him.
Cowie wants to win, dude. They want to win, and right now they have a guy who gets hurt a lot and then a past champ who we don't know if he's all the way committed or not. Cowie's going to get through that for 1 year, and then they're going to go after whoever they think can win, and I bet you Dylan will be the one they go after, and they go after him with the open checkbook. Just keep an eye on Dylan at Cowie in 2023. That's my guess.
I don't think that's crazy at all. I think what's crazy is for us to assume that AC will be the winner when all we're asking for is for him to finish a season.
Yeah. Dan.
I'm all or nothing.
Oh.
God. All right.
I will say that I think Jason Anderson wins A1.
A1?
Yes.
Ooh. Let's talk that. Who wins A1? Do you think Bam Bam's going to do it again?
Let's do some money, Vince.
All right. Yes.
I got $100 in my pocket right here.
On Hombre? Oh,
On Hombre?
For real.
Okay, I bet you $100.
And who do you got?
No. Who do you got?
Oh.
Has to beat Hombre.
Oh, it has to. Oh, no.
Is it to win? To win, Dan?
Yeah.
And Vincent pick one to win.
I don't know who's
neither
going to win, but I could definitely bet that Hombre isn't going to win.
We have $400 sitting here if we want to do this, Joe. We all pick our winner, and whoever gets it right gets $400. And if no one gets it right, then no one gets the money.
I said Barsha.
You say he does it again?
You think Barsha? That's
Sexton.
a good one.
Sexton. He says
Hombre.
Man, I don't know. Now that I think about it. I want to say Bam Bam for sure.
He picked him already. Joe jumped. He got the whole shot on you.
Yeah.
It won't be Cooper.
I got to think
be
about
Eli.
it. I got to think about it.
Those goofballs.
Definitely not ombre. So you lost $100. I'll give you $100 right now.
Just
if you just pick someone
guy.
that's not on a
pick
Cowie.
Vincent, pick Dylan. Pick Dylan, Vincent.
Dylan? No, he's going to get a bad start.
What about Malcolm?
Yeah, what? You're all in, dude.
On.
He's the most talented guy. He's the most talented guy.
I didn't say win. I put him in third in points. That's different.
He's got to win races to get third in points.
Yeah, dude. Why not the first one? He almost won in the mud a couple years ago, remember?
It could rain.
Pick your guy.
Okay.
Is that him?
I guess.
Mookie? All right. There it is. So,
Man,
anyways, Dan.
Bam Bam for
I'm just
sure.
looking out for you, Dan. Listen, our listeners like you, but they know who you are. They know you're loyal. They know. But I'm just trying to save you the embarrassment of sticking your neck out too far.
Listen, I back after my first list did not have AC in the lead.
Your first one did. Then you took it
No,
off.
it did
yeah,
not.
that's right. Your first one didn't, and then you immediately wrote me back within 30 seconds and had him in the lead. It's almost like he felt guilty, Joe.
I felt bad. I really, truly did. I felt bad.
It was like top 10, and then immediately a new one with AC on top.
He's a loyal guy.
I mean, what can you say?
It's not a bad thing.
What if AC leaves Cowie next year? What if Cowie drops him? Then what are you going to do? Oh, you'll be so screwed up. What are you going to do?
Nah, they're not going to drop him. Yeah, I think AC will be at Kawasaki for this whole career.
I just got a text from somebody that says Tomac is flying, AP is flying.
Who is it? Let me see your phone.
That's none of your business.
And I heard Jason Anderson is the fastest guy, period, right now.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
I heard everybody is.
I will have to agree that Anderson will probably be better than he was last year, but he's definitely not winning round one.
I still can't get in. I still cannot buy into the team fried thing, though.
Why?
I don't know.
It's their thing. It's not my style, but I like that they have their thing and it does well. I mean, it does well.
Will Josh Greco make a main?
No.
I'd go with a pretty firm no on that one.
Hey,
Okay.
I will tell you that I got word from a listener that's pretty close with the Hills, and Justin Hill is actually ripping right now.
I wouldn't doubt it. He's a freak, man. The guy's so talented, it's unreal.
Think about Justin Hill, right? I don't know what his issue was when he raced Supercross, and he made a career change, right? Maybe he was like, hey, I want to try something different. Maybe being a cop was his dream, right? He gets into the job, realizes that this is just not me, and goes back to racing.
It's not the best time to be in law enforcement either. He went in there in a weird time.
So from what I understand, he's super happy and he's having a lot of fun. And man, a Justin Hill happy and having fun, that could be interesting.
It'll be good. I mean, there's so many other guys that we haven't talked about. Bogle, Anstey, Savacci, McElrath, Wilson, Brayton. It's insanity in the top 20.
We're actually sleeping on Justin Brayton. Justin Brayton is so just solid. And realistically, I think Brayton's a top 10 guy at the end of the season.
I hope I'm wrong here because I actually, if you want to talk about on a personal level, he might be one of my favorites. I got a long history with him. But this is just a guess I'll throw out. This might be the year when he's not really as much of a threat. I think this is the year where he settles in. I think he'd be smart. You talk about that safety net, Joe. I don't think he's going to just hang it out. He's like 35, 6 something. I think he's going to be really smart this year. I bet you he'll be solid, but I think this is the least we'll see of him up front. More for the fact is he's going to protect himself and he'll ride his best, but I don't see it this year. I think this is the year he steps out.
Yeah, but I still think at the end of the year,
maybe
he's a solid, consistent guy. It wouldn't shock me if he's top 10 in points.
Maybe. Let's kind of go around and talk schedule really quickly before we wrap it up. Actually, I do want to get into our shows, Joe. We'll talk with Dan and Vincent a little bit about what we're going to do over on Patreon. Remember, patreon.com/maineventmoto is how you can find us. And then from there, you'll know what to do from there. Let's talk stadiums, though. Dan, A1, you're in, right?
So I have press credentials.
You're press now. Main Event Moto is officially media for Supercross now, Joe. We made it. Dan made it.
Hell yeah.
Me and Joe were talking about this the other day. He's like, did you ever think that you'd actually have a media credential? I said, hell no.
We could have had it like 3 years ago, too. We could have.
It's good. It'll help us take the show to the next level.
It'll be good. And it'll be good to have you on the press conferences.
I'm going to A1, Oakland, A3, Arlington, and Salt Lake City.
Damn.
Okay. Vincent, are you going to any?
If I do, I want to go to Glendale.
Oh, because of our plan, the little trip that we planned?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll try that. Joe, what's your thoughts? Oakland?
Yep. Oakland.
That's it? Oakland?
Hobo Nick never showed up
Oh, yeah, I forgot. He texted me. He said he can't come.
because we were going to talk about Daytona.
Yeah. He says he's going to Daytona. That's his favorite place in the world. I don't know why. He loves Daytona.
I mean, Joe, honestly, because the ticket thing is a little weird this year, but you should go to Daytona, Joe.
It's pretty rad.
It is rad.
I just want you to travel with me. I want to fly with you.
I know. We're good travel
one.
companions.
I actually, who's going
Traveled
to...
around the whole world
Joe, do you remember,
with him
do you remember our
once.
first flight together ever?
Oh, yes, I do.
What happened?
All kinds of...
9.5-hour flight over the ocean,
Yes,
blacked out drunk.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
How many times did you jerk one on the flight?
Oh, boy.
What?
4 or 5.
That's
Easily. I'll never forget, Joe.
Jeez.
He said, if you want the flight to go better,
Oh, no. Come on.
you need to jerk one. And every 2 hours, he'd be like, I'll be right back.
that's not even true.
It is so true.
There's no
It was
way.
so true.
It's not true, bro.
Man, you got to stay on the move.
It was every hour.
You can't. He's like, you can't sit still for very long. You'll get
Oh,
blood
my
clots.
gosh.
I'll be right back.
Clearing out that highway.
True.
Horrible.
Remember when I was
Clearing
wasted?
out the highway.
Told that chick that I was sick for her.
Oh, boy.
My best hit
Yeah.
on her.
Use
Hey,
once.
who's going to Minneapolis?
I'm going to Minneapolis.
I know, but who else is going? Who's going with you? Anybody?
I don't know yet.
No way.
I might want to go to that one. Pony Pod's getting his pony cut off.
I know. I'm trying to think of what I was going to say. Damn it. Oh, okay. Round one, Dan, did you ever figure out your schedule? Okay, let me bring everyone up to speed on some things week one. So Tuesday of Anaheim 1 is the press conference for the 450. Okay, it's Tuesday. I'm hosting the press conference. It's going to be through Zoom with the media, all the 450 riders. Wednesday, I'm hosting the Lawrence brothers private press conference. They're doing their own thing. It's insane. These guys, what they do with them boys, it's rad. But my question, Dan, are you coming down for that? Have you decided yet? That's Wednesday night.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. Thursday night is the 250 West press conference. And then Friday is press day, riding the track. And then Saturday is the race day. So I'm actually leaving Tuesday morning, and I'm staying there the whole time for all this stuff. But Dan, you weren't here in the beginning. Joe and I opened the show. We told everybody the plan, what we're doing. We're moving over to Patreon. What's your thoughts on how we want to do the Friday night show? I think that one is going to be a little bit of everybody. Vince, I know you'll be involved in that one too. Joe, we've decided kind of a listener question, kind of moving our listener question show to Friday to the live video stream, but having either you on with me, it might be all of us on certain nights when we're all available. Any other thoughts from you on that show, on what the plan is on Friday nights?
Yeah, no, I think we should do it like we used to do it. It's super loose. It's really good inside information that you're not going to get anywhere else on another podcast because we will literally be there. You will be there, you know. Yeah, I think the Friday night shows are cool.
Joe, anything else past that, at least in the beginning? Because I think we'll adjust as we go. This is all, I'm giddy. I feel like a little kid,
So,
like I'm ready for Christmas.
I was
talking to Joe, but yeah, go ahead.
I thought we were talking about what we're doing.
We'll get to you in a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Joe, your thoughts on that? You think it'd be better to have us all 4 or 2 or just
As
play
many
by ear?
play it by ear, but as many as we can, whenever we can on the Friday night show. It'll be cool. Wednesday night is you prepping with the fans and the listeners and getting their feedback and you telling them what time it is. Friday, loosey-goosey, listener questions, hangout time. You're going to be at the stadium or wherever the race is happening and just getting done with a lot of info. So Friday night, you're going to be hot with a lot of
I had a thought,
stuff.
too. I had a thought.
I actually got a good thought, too.
I had a thought. What we're doing to stream the video, you'll all be able to get on that with us. You'll be actually on the stream. Joe, we can invite listeners to actually join the screen. They can actually get on the show. So I think that if someone brings the right question, if someone brings the heat and they're entertained enough, we should bring a listener or two on every once in a
We
while.
should
on
bring
the Friday night
Scrape
show.
Off on the show.
I'd love
for
to have
sure.
Scrape Off on. I mean, he
By
might
the
be
way,
asleep.
we're homies.
I know you and Scrape Off are tight, but Do you think we should do that too? Is have
Absolutely.
the listeners on, let them jump on the screen with us, live stream with us.
For sure.
Okay.
And my thought is if I'm at one of the races, or if maybe we could snag a special guest, some random.
The beauty is we could do whatever we want on this thing. And I was even thinking like Wednesday night's Lawrence Brother press conference. I know that's not part of our planned shows, but there's no reason why, Dan, you and I couldn't just go live and live stream from the press conference. You could actually live stream the whole damn thing. We could talk to Hunter and Jet and actually just go way behind the scenes on that. And I think that's another place, Joe, where we can put that access, right? For everyone on Patreon. We might have spontaneous things. You'll have to be locked into the Instagram, because if something happens, I'll obviously give you a warning. Dan will be warning everybody on Instagram, but we might have some opportunities to go live and do some things that are just off the cuff and just, hey, this seems that kind of fun. Let's prep for this and let's do it. So I think that'll be pretty cool on Friday. Vincent, your Saturday show, kind of walk me through what you're thinking on that and kind of transitioning from what you were doing on Instagram to what you're going to do now over on Patreon.
I was planning on doing a private Instagram page and going live with that and not on my own Instagram, just for certain reasons that doesn't really matter. But now that you guys are doing using that streaming platform, which is kind of cool, you can interact with people a little bit better. Mm-hmm. I want to do my stories and have a good time and make fun of anyone that we can. And then it's going to be the main event Moto pre-main party. And we're partying.
Is that what it's called, Joe? The pre-main. We got to hit our names.
We'll work on that.
We're going to work on that
Whatever.
Separately, not live on the show.
But it's a party, and you have to drink. We got to be drinking and be buzzing.
Okay.
And this isn't like some weak ass show. This is full production. Okay. We got music going to be playing. We're gonna be making bets, and whoever Venmos me the most money can go on there with me.
Vincent wants to make money, Joe, because he wants to play Pebble Beach.
I take tips, and I'll be linking my Venmo. And
what a psycho!
$1 tips is enough.
Send him a penny, guys. Send him a penny at a time.
No, I'm just kidding.
Rack them up. And those will be two shows before the 250 and the 450.
Yeah, so we'll be doing all that stuff, and then just be ready. I'll have a countdown on there, and as soon as the LCQ is finished, it's go time, and we're gonna party.
Live party.
We're gonna party hard.
All right, I love it. Video party. Joe, you like it?
Oh yeah, Saturdays are going to be great.
What do you guys think about the Wednesday show? That's just me prepping my notes. Do you think you guys would ever want to get on that with me and walk through it, or do you think that should just stay solo and kind of get in my rhythm and do my thing? What do you think? I'm kind of torn on that one. Joe, we never even finalized that.
I mean, I think it's important that show focuses more on your pre-production and prepping for what you're going to actually be saying on television. And so we'll be watching it, and if you want us to chime in, I'm sure, of course, but that's mainly for you to do your thing, your process, and then interact with the listeners so they can have suggestions or questions and comments, and then you can take those and do with them as you will.
That show is going to help keep me way more accountable too with my prep. Like I prep hard. Obviously, I think you guys know I work hard at this. I try hard, but sometimes schedules and lives get a little loose. For me to have that show where I have to sit there and do my notes with an audience watching, dude, I'm going to be so much more thorough this year than I've been in the past. And
if you get a listener who's
buttoned up,
who's banging, who's on fire or something and has something that you think is valuable, you can always call them up and bring them up if they're interested in being on video with you. You know how it is. You can bring up all sorts of people and do whatever you want.
Yeah, I might do that, but I do think that one's going to be good for me to help level up. Like I really want this year. I'm ready to take the next step, and I feel like my prep is going to make the biggest difference. So to do it with the Motoheads, like almost like combine, like unite together to help get the notes tight and right. Because when it comes to Webb, dude, I got like 10 different thoughts on him, and I don't know which one maybe is the most valuable to the audience, and I got to work through those things. So I think to do it with the listeners, really get to, it's like taking a comb through everything and really getting the juice that I need and hitting different angles. I don't want to commentate this year and just say the generic things. I want to go at different angles and make this different. And I have an idea of how, but I think this is going to be a way to explore that because I do want things to sound and feel different this year. What, Vince?
I think it's important to realize how cool this Patreon program is going to be, because now the listeners are getting to support Main Event Moto and now be a part of it, not just, a comment here or there or something. They actually get to be a part of this, and now you're growing a community a little bit stronger, and that can help not just everybody, but you especially.
That's why I want to do that Wednesday show.
That's what Patreon's all about, right? Instead of looking for corporate type ways to grow, you're actually grassrooting it. You're building a community, and people know that they're now investing in you, and they get to actually be a part of you too.
Yeah, I like that too. I think, Joe, that's why we decided that one would be live video stream.
It's going to be more personal.
By myself.
Definitely more personal. Jumping to Patreon.
I mean, Joe, I think we could be transparent. We're late in the show. We could talk our way through this, but the model that we were doing was awesome. The sponsors, they were great. Dan, you know that. You've worked with them all. They're incredible. Yeah. But if we're being honest, this sport is so niche that there's not unlimited sponsors and unlimited dollars to be able to grow these things. If you notice, there's only one real podcast out there that is doing it full time and making a good living off, and that's Pulp. And he's been at this thing for how long? 12-something years. Yeah. And I feel like for us to be able to take the leap that we want to take and do all these new 2022 type things, streaming, and it would take too long the other way, and I don't know if we'd ever get there.
You need a community.
I know, and that's why.
And this is the best way to grow a real community, because they're the ones that are investing in you.
I'm looking around the table right now, like this show, Joe. I want this show to be video. I want us to be a video show. I see all these sick video shows that I love, like Pat McAfee's show. He's a NFL punter. He's got one of the coolest shows ever. I look at those and I'm just bitter and jealous. Like, I want one of those, and the only way that we could do that is, like you said, Vincent, build a community to where our audience and fans are investing in us, and we're going to deliver. And we're going to deliver and build it and grow this thing and make it. I think we can do incredible things with this.
100% will give back you will get something out of this, not just listening and everything. When things grow like that, you do bigger giveaways. You do bigger things to get more people involved and feel like they're getting something out of it, right? Giving jerseys away. Dude, speaking of that, dude, if someone Venmos me enough, dude, the more names you put in my Venmo, I'll give away one of my LBZ jerseys.
Oh, everyone wants that thing.
Damn.
I'll wipe my ass.
Everyone's on
with my name
pins
on
and
it.
Needles waiting for that opportunity, Vincent.
Are you kidding me? That thing's sick.
Kendra Wilkinson, probably.
Do you have a schedule, like for your Wednesday night show? Do you have a time slot?
What did we decide on that?
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Pacific Wednesday nights, except for Anaheim 1 week, because I'll be doing the press conference for the Lawrences. So we'll do something that night. Dan, we'll go live. But that show I'll do on Tuesday night, Joe. When I'm down there by myself, I'll do my Tuesday night show from down there, or my Wednesday night show on Tuesday. But then from then on, it'll go back to being Wednesdays, because Wednesday's when we have our call. So what happens is we got on this call, and everybody goes around the circle and kind of talks, and it's mostly for Bondo to help him build his show. Like, he builds the show for the week, and we all have our opinions, and he takes down notes. And it's cool because it's like I get to hear Ricky's opinion, and then Lee or Todd or Will or whoever, everyone's got their opinions, and you start going, okay, that's where the mood is. That's what we're thinking. We're thinking that he's a primary story. Then for me, I can go and then take that and really start breaking down each guy and go, okay, Barsha, like, let's really think about where we want to go with this. Yeah, he wants to win the opener. Okay, well, how about the fact that the record right now at the opener is McGrath? McGrath's won 3 openers.
Yeah, and you never know.
So is Barsha. Barsha could break McGrath's record. So let's take a look at that and see, like, who's won the opening round? Who's done it how many times? Why don't guys win it? Why do guys win it? And really try to find that angle so that when I'm on TV, I could present a different angle that nobody is really thinking of. Because, like you said, Vince, my community, the Motoheads, we can chip away at this thing and almost just build a different version of the things that need to be said in different ways.
How many Motoheads in here right now wish that they can get their thoughts out to someone this close to, to the show, right? No one. And to be able to have a one-on-one interaction with them and then hear you
it's not going to be one-on-one. There's going to be a lot on there.
I know. One-on-one meaning, like, let's say someone put a very interesting statement and it didn't really dawn on you, right? Because these are all smart guys or whatever.
Yeah, I have my thoughts and from my angles.
And then you make a note of it, and then they're watching you on TV and you say that fact, and they're like, wow, I'm a part of this now. That's the connection they have. No one has any access to Carmichael. No one has any access to any commentator. right? Personal access. So if you wanted to do live shows, video shows, there's going to be live chat too. So the more you donate to my Venmo, the more chances we'll ask your question on
Send him
stream.
$1 to shut him up. Good God.
I just want to play Pebble.
But
I
anyways,
think just the coolest thing is it's just taking it to the next level. It's Main Event Moto is no longer a podcast, right?
It's a community.
It's a community and a media platform with the ability, we're going to have the ability to do way more than we're doing currently. And yeah, like Vincent said, it's a deep dive look into the sport from a lot of different angles.
This is just the start, Joe. We have a list of a lot of other things we want to do. We'll get there over time.
Yeah.
Last question is, how many subscribers do we need before we show Joe's face?
Ooh.
For real, though.
I don't know. Let's just
Joe,
wait. Let's
how
wait
many
it out.
how many do you need? How many do you need?
It should be double the amount of whatever the first week total is.
Everyone's gonna wait till week 2, dude. They're gonna come in hot week 2. Joe.
rig it.
They're gonna get like 10 times
You
more.
won't
this
have
week.
a show then. There's only 2 people
I would
that
say
sub.
I don't know, 50,000.
Jeez, what are you, the Pope? My God, you're not that valuable.
That's not unreasonable.
50,000. That's not unreasonable.
No, in all honesty, though, once we get in there, Joe, I think we need to take a look and we need to set a goal and shoot for it. And I think eventually, the mask has to come off, bro. Eventually, eventually.
How funny it would be, like, we finally do it and everyone's excited and he shows his face and he just looks like Sloth from the Goonies. He's just, hey, you guys!
Yes.
We lose.
I mean, that's pretty close to reality.
Yeah, right.
That's not what
It's
I
not
see.
far off.
I don't know, man.
That's not what's through my lenses, Joe.
Not far off.
Sloth doesn't give me boners.
Baby Ruth.
All right. Well, guys, good show. Preview show. It was a good one. It was a long one. Dan, thanks for coming in twice. Vincent, thanks for coming in. You pretty behaved.
Yeah,
You'll be able to lighten up a little bit on the other side.
A little hung.
Oh yeah, from last night, Joe. This
buddy.
is. I guess this is kind of it. Oh, this isn't all the way it though. We are still going to have our own actual. I don't understand the technology, but
We'll be doing a little 10-minute preview thing on the normal podcast channels wherever you get your podcast.
but not on Racer X's.
Subscribe to Main Event Moto. Yeah, we have a new fresh channel, Main Event Moto. Search for it on iTunes or Google Play, wherever you get your podcast. Look for Main Event Moto. We're going to be doing a little 10-minute thing every Monday to just preview this main podcast show.
Yeah, so we'll still be out there to be able to find us. And then again, final direction here. Patreon.com/Main Event Moto.
Links in the Instagram bio.
Yeah, links. Dan's got the link going. And once you sign up, you get past the wall and you're gonna be in our world, and it might get a little weird.
One more question.
A little weirder.
Vince Freese, dude. How long do you think?
Till something with someone,
Until
anyone?
assault against a minor with a deadly weapon, aka motorcycle.
Free practice? No, I don't know.
First lap.
Dan, when is the first Vince thing happen?
God, I can't wait.
Can't wait.
It'll be
First drinking game.
What if he just doesn't do anything, Joe? What if he doesn't do anything?
That'd be a major letdown.
Our first drinking game in the Main Event Moto pre-main party is going to be
dedicated events.
Dedicated to Vince Freese.
Dan, when does it happen?
A drinking game.
What round does something happen?
I'm going to say the second round.
Oakland? Okay.
Yep.
First
Vincent?
round. First round,
Joe?
dude.
I mean, why not? First round.
He's been holding the bull in the cage for all year. You can't wait to get out there, dude.
The bull has been in the cage.
The Moab, dude. There's a Foab now in real life. It's called the father of all bombs, not the mother. It's even bigger.
Ah, it's bigger, Joe.
He might be the Foab tonight.
It's the Freesy of all bombs.
It's the Foab.
Freesy of all bombs.
Dude, that's awesome.
Foab, dude.
The Foab.
Let's do what we can to get that on a butt patch on Vince this year. I bet I can make it happen.
Dude,
I can make it happen.
Just Venmo me and I'll pay him with whatever you
You
Venmo
guys good?
me.
Are we in? Are we going to get the Foab put on this?
I want
pants?
Foab. That would be so sick.
We're going for
Hell
it.
yeah.
I'll talk to him. I'll
You
talk to
won't.
Tony.
And then we should get
What
a.
do you mean I won't? I'll call Tony right now.
Do it.
Yeah.
Put him on the phone right now. Call him right now. I want to hear his slimy
Maybe can we get a
voice.
Creed Honda
Slimy
butt patch
voice.
also?
What? I'm going to ask him a couple
Can we
questions
get
too.
a Creed Honda butt patch? Is that what you said?
Hold on.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm calling Tony right now.
Tell him that his nickname's the Moab, but we need to change it to the Foab.
And Vincent, you just shut your mouth, dude.
No.
You're done.
What's going on, Daniel?
Tony, you're on Main Event Moto. This is spontaneous. I just need to know which coast Vince is riding.
West Coast.
Oh, yes. Is he ready?
Yes. He's ready. Yep. I would say that 2 words. Beware.
Yes! Yes! That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Yes! All right, Tony, I got to go. We're wrapping up the show, but I had to know, and now I know.
Talk to you soon, Daniel.
I'll see you soon. Later, bro.
The patch.
I'll worry about that in person, dude. What are you talking
I
about?
said you were going to call Tony about putting the patch on.
I just need to know if he was riding west or east. Tony said beware, Joe.
I told you.
Beware.
Dude, heat race win is coming.
I can't
beware for what?
Oh, it doesn't matter.
For the FOAB?
For the FOAB, dude.
He thinks he's going to win. That's not happening. He's going to just FOAB people.
Does Tony mean beware like he's ready to do well, or beware like he's ready to...
I think he's ready to throw down.
I think dad. There's a lot of dads right now that are worried.
I'm here for it. I've moved past everything with Vince. I'm team
Can you
Vince.
imagine
Freaky, dude.
if
I'm all about it.
You guys, how many danger zones am I going to do in an LCQ? If he has to go to an LCQ, he'll never go.
I was able to live and talk about it. Okay, guys, I've been on the other side. It's scary, but I'm on this side now, and I'm so happy.
Been through the danger zone.
Vince,
oh my
beware! God. I can't wait. All right. Good show. One final send-off for the sponsors. Thank you guys again for everything. What a freaking journey and a ride. And again, we're still going to work with these sponsors directly in different ways. But as far as being under this format with a sponsored show, Joe, this is the final send-off. So, Fly Racing, love you guys. You know that. Mika Metals, first sponsor we ever had on the show. Right? Or was it No Toil? Or was it both?
Well, it was ScreenPrinting.com, and then it was Hasker Racing.
Neil was first.
Hasker Racing, and then it was No Toil.
When,
and then
what?
Mika right after that.
Okay.
You were wrong.
They were early, but whatever. Mika. Motorsport.com. Gift card. Guys, crushed it. I mean, gave out thousands of dollars of free stuff. Scott USA, the Prospect Listener, Adamson Torello goggle questions. What a run that was, huh, Joe?
Yeah.
Never even got in trouble by his actual brand. No Toil, Guts Racing. Y'all know Andy Gregg. We love Andy. EMT Racing. By the way, I wasn't allowed to say, but EMT Racing bought NorCal Cobra.
You already said that.
I didn't say that on the show, did I?
Did, yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's super rad. I couldn't. When I saw that, I was like, yes, that's awesome. Blenzall, thank you guys for coming on board. They were later in the game, but God, they've been incredible. Screen Printing done. Neil, dude. He's still on board. I told him what we were doing, and he said, let me know what I need to print you guys. He's all in, Joe.
Neil's the man.
All-American Chevy of Colleen. Still rocking my GMC 2500 that I bought in Colleen and drove home, baby. Olme Creations. Sickest KX65 you ever seen in your life.
Yep.
DRS Suspension and Race Tech. Thank you guys so much for making my son's ride just plush as days. Like I said, my poor little guy had a bad get up. It wasn't because of his suspension. That was always perfect. And Utah Health, thank you guys so much for the CBD and calming my ass down every once in a while. So there it is, guys. The end of chapter 1. Chapter 2 starts next week.
The saga begins.
Time to take
you there, bitches.
Time to take the gloves off. We'll see you on the other side.
Main Event Moto. Screw it. You know it by now.